What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Go live chat. Apologize in advance for being shirtless, but it's like 90 degrees today. Definitely the hottest day of the year so far, so I'm not wearing a shirt for you guys. Very excited. Finally, we got a good car. Oh, last week's car was pretty good. I think last week's car was pretty good for a fight night, especially for an Apex fight night. But finally got some good matchups. Let's see what I want to talk about. I think it's crazy how many people are doubting Yair Rodriguez. Like, a lot of people are just counting him out, which is insane. Like, I think he's one of the most unique talents in the UFC period. And he poses a lot of unique threats to Volkanovski that I don't think he's ever seen before in anyone else. So I'm not saying Volk can't deal with it. He probably can. But yeah, I'm not counting Yair out at all. Insane to me, fucking insane to me that Moreno is a 2-1 favorite. I mean, I'm not saying I'm betting on it right now. I'm gonna wait until I see the exact start time so I know roughly the energetic script of what that's gonna be. But if that's like a neutral script, or if it's even if it slightly favors Moreno, then I think I will put a little bit of money on Pantoja. And if Pantoja has the advantage in the stars, then I am hammering him because he's already beaten him twice. Like, I don't how do you beat someone two times? Pretty like, they were competitive fights, but they were like, it was obvious who the better fighter was. And how is that guy a 2-1 dog? I don't understand. No, Preacha, it's too hot. I'm sorry. I already said that earlier. Yeah, this is the hottest day so far of the year. So yeah, I'm not going to. I'm sorry about that. But you can enjoy my nipples. But there's a lot of lines on this card that are just fucking strange as fuck, man. There was another one that I was looking at. It's like, oh, Whitaker versus Duplessis. That seems fucking wide to me. Like, I definitely like the Reaper in that matchup, but plus 300, fucking yeah. Duplessis is plus 300. Whitaker is minus 400. I think that's insane for someone as good as Duplessis. And there's a lot of unknowns. He got his nasal surgery, so we don't know how much of a difference that's going to affect his cardio. We have no idea. Like, if that increases his, what's it called, his VO2 max or CO2, whatever the fuck it's called, like the his ability to like push through those barriers, if that increases it at least like even just 10%, like, I think it's a much closer fight than people are anticipating, especially in the first round. It's a 3-round fight, and especially in the first round, like, I don't know. A lot of Whitaker's advantage is his championship experience and the fact that he just gets better as the fight goes on, generally. But like, he's not going to have that option. So if DDP starts out fast, like he generally does, not always, but he generally does, and let's say he actually gets that first round, I still would probably go Whitaker. But that's another fight, man. If I see some crazy shit for DDP, then I'm definitely going to put some money on him. But if that's neutral, then I'm not. Then I'm just staying away from it because Whitaker's going to win. Because Whitaker's just the better fighter. He just has more experience. But I don't know. I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before. I was on a Rigo stream and he was saying he was doubting Bobby Knuckles' mindset, and I don't know if I agree with that at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't agree with that. But I thought it was an interesting take, and I could see how it could be possible. But he was saying that he doesn't want to fight Izzy again. That I know for a fact isn't true. He definitely wants to fight Izzy again. He knows he won the second fight, and he knows he can beat Izzy. It's not an easy matchup for him at all, just because he's just such a cheap little bitch, dude. Like, he's got the physical advantages, which makes him just tough to hit for a guy. Like, Whitaker's like my height. He might be maybe an inch taller, but he's around my height. And fighting a guy like Izzy, who I don't know Izzy's reach, like 78 or some shit. Like he's got a pretty decent reach, and he's just like he's not afraid to fight like a bitch to maintain his belt. So it's just a fucking tough matchup for someone a lot smaller than. But uh, but yeah, I part of me wants Whitaker to win because Whitaker is one of my favorite fighters. Period. Can I break down Reina and Pantoja? Yes, I will. Just let me finish this thought. Part of me wants Whitaker to win because he's probably my favorite. Yeah, he's my favorite middleweight inside the cage. I think Strickland's my favorite middleweight outside the cage. I think I'd go with that. But I've always cheered for Bobby Knuckles, and it's going to be hard for me not to. But just for the whole the African shit, and then the build up to a potential DDP versus Adesanya fight, that would be really fun. So that aspect of me is pulling for DDP. But then on top of that, more than DDP, I want to see Sean Strickland versus Izzy. Not really. I don't really want to see DDP versus Izzy or Sean Strickland versus Izzy inside the cage. I'm pretty sure Izzy wins both those matchups. I don't. I think DDP's got a better shot. I think if DDP kind of just blitzes him early, and if he can get like an early takedown and threaten him on the ground, I think he's got a good chance. I don't think Sean is big and strong enough to do that, and I don't think Sean is even willing to go to the ground with Izzy. If he wasn't willing to go to the ground with Pereira, then it's hard to imagine him being willing to go to the ground with Izzy. However, I still want to see Sean versus Izzy. I think just for the buildup, I think Sean, just the visual of Sean getting under Izzy's skin left and right, that will be worth Izzy's manhandling of Sean inside the cage, I think. And we just don't really have that many fucking contenders, dude. Like the rightful number one contender in the middleweight division is Pereira, but Pereira's gone. He's not in the middleweight division, and he's going to fight Yan, which is not that's not going to end well. Like I wish they would have given him a strike, like a pure striker who like someone who isn't going to be enticed to use their grappling against what's his name, because I don't think it's going to go well. But anyways, Moreno versus Pantoja. I just I think just like the first few fights, Moreno's just gonna have Moreno's his base is wrestling, you know. So if he can't at least threaten a takedown, which on Pantoja, like it's been hard for him to do. If that stays the same, so basically it's going to be mostly a stand up fight. I don't see how you can pick Moreno. You know, and how much better has his grappling gotten since the last time they fought? Like, I don't think it probably hasn't really gotten better at all. Since I'm assuming he's working more on his striking. His striking's a little bit better than it was last time they fought. But I just don't think it's a good matchup for Brandon Moreno. My biggest caveat or concern with that matchup is just the fact that that the UFC clearly, very obviously want Brandon Moreno as their champion, and I don't think they give a damn about Pantoja. So if it goes to a decision, which I think it very likely will, I don't really see either guy finishing the other guy. I think it's going to be 5 rounds of. I don't think it's going to be an insane fight, but I think it's going to be like a 7 out of 10 fight. I think it's going to be, it's a flyweight fight, so it's going to be action. It's going to be action packed, but it's not going to be crazy for a flyweight fight. And I could see Pantoja like pretty clearly winning like 4 rounds or some shit, and them still giving the decision to Moreno. So that's a concern. That's a reason why I might not bet Pantoja too. Once again, it all depends on what I see in the stars. That's how I've been betting ever since I got into astrology. That's how I've bet every single MMA card. I pretty much completely done with parlays. For a while, I was doing like mini parlays where, because everything matters at the exact start time, like the exact moment when the fight starts. That's like the birth chart of the fight. And And I used to be able to, as recently as a few weeks ago, I used to be able to just ahead of time look at the first prelim fight, or look at the first early prelim fight, look at the first prelim fight, and look at the first fight in the main card, because I know for sure, uh, or I used to know relatively for sure around what time those fights were going to start. So I would have a pretty good idea, and then I could, and if I see something good, then I could parlay those fights. But the last 2 weeks in a row, they've been starting just weird fucking times. Like this last card, they started the prelims. I think it was like 7 o'clock when it started, but the first fight didn't start until I think 7:21 Eastern Standard Time. But then on the main card, I think it was actually later. I think it was like 7:24. Like it was really fucking late. It was bizarrely late considering they had like 7 fights to get through as well. Because a lot of times the amount of fights they have to get through determines the start time. But this didn't. So I think it started like 23 minutes late, which is weird. And then so I was expecting the main card fight, the first main card fight, to also start around that time, but it didn't. It started like 14 minutes after 10 o'clock or some shit. So it's making it fucking impossible for me to do parlays, basically. Because his last fight, I did do a parlay, and it worked out for me. I can't even remember who it fucking was. It worked out for me, but I had the wrong chart because I was expecting it to start like 9 minutes later. That might not seem like a big deal, but the way these things work, like empires and championships and fights and everything, literally everything in the world, like it, when you start something is so fucking important. That's why electional astrology is so popular and has been so popular for literally millennia. Like if you look at the history of it, like kings and queens and sultans and fucking just emperors, people who ruled like big societies back in the day, their secret sauce literally was consulting the best local astrologer and saying, okay, when is the best time to do that? Like, when was the best time to invade France? Well, anytime's the best time to invade France because they're not going to put up a fight. But when's the best time to, invade India or Mongolia or whatever? They would generally consult their astrologer first, because that's what it's for. It's to help you to decide what's the best time to start something. And I know a lot of fighters are into astrology too. They won't talk about it. And this is a prediction, not a prediction, just well, I guess it's not really a prediction because it's something I do believe it's happening right now, but he will never, ever say it. I guarantee you, he will never, ever admit he does it. But there's a few things he said that I've heard, and I can just tell. Like once you're in the community, you can tell other people in the community. Elon Musk, he will never admit it because he knows all the negative connotation around astrology. Elon Musk is actually a huge astrologer, massive astrologer, and he a lot of the things, the events he does for like SpaceX and Tesla and everything, they're all astrologically aligned in a favorable light for him. That's not a coincidence, like that shit just doesn't fucking happen. So at the very least, he hires someone who is very knowledgeable in astrology to handle that shit for him. So things tend to go well. But yeah, so like the top scientist in the entire world is an astrologer, in my opinion. I can't prove it, but I can indirectly prove it for sure. And yeah, that was kind of a tangent. But what other fights? Oh, another fight on the card that I thought the odds were just way too high. Tatsuro Taira. I am high on him. He looks like a pretty good prospect, but I think he's like minus 900 or some shit. And his opponent isn't that bad. I was doing just a little bit of research because I like whenever there's a massive discrepancy in the odds, like that's a big opportunity to win money if the odds are incorrect. So those are the fights that I like to do more research on. And then so let's say the guy he's facing, like I think the guy he's facing I think he's like plus 600 or some shit. I don't think he should be any more than like plus 250, plus 300. So that right there is a good, like it's a good value bet, but I won't make it until I see something in the stars. But wouldn't say Elon is a top scientist or engineer. He's just a guy who's extremely smart. We're marketing and business turn just I mean that's fair, but he like then what would you call him? The nation's top mogul or top technology mogul, I guess. So I think I would agree with that. Like he's not really the one. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I would consider him a scientist. Like his goal literally is to get humans on Mars, which is funny because he's probably from Mars. He probably came from Mars to Earth, and now he's trying to get back to Mars. But regardless, the world's richest man, uses astrology, and I heard this quote recently. I can't remember where I heard it. I wish I knew where I heard it, if it was fucking reliable source or not. But I thought it was a good quote. It said, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do," and I think that's probably. I don't think it's an accurate statement across the board, but I do think it's an accurate statement because to accumulate that much wealth, you need as many cards stacked in your favor as possible. And astrology is the simplest way to stack things in your favor. It changed my MMA betting from like I would bet on MMA and generally like I'd be happy to break even. My MMA betting was just not great before before astrology. It wasn't horrible. Like I would say for the most part, I was probably like a slightly losing better in MMA. And now literally I can't remember. I don't think there has been a week where I've lost money. I don't think so since I started astrology. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I could be wrong. There might have been a card where I lost, but I can't think of it. I can't think of it. Like last card, I didn't even bet that much, and I still made a decent amount. Just because like I know what's going to happen before it's going to happen. Like it's crazy how fucking accurate it is. If you know what to look for, it's insane. And what else I want to talk about? I don't know. It's kind of hard talking when there's one fucking viewer in chat. Thank you for being here, Preacher. But yeah, the only reason why I'm going live now is because once again, it's so hot, and if I put the air is just too loud. So if I put it on, you're not going to hear me. People complain and shit. So I decided to go live now, but like my audience likes me to go live later. Also, like the time I normally go live, which is like 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern time, Guru's always fucking live then. And if Guru's not live, then like Rigo will be live or some shit, and I can't compete with them. But also, obviously, I can't compete with just having a day job and shit either. Wherever the fuck else people are doing at this time. But yeah, I also have other YouTube channels, but those are I started those a while ago. Those are completely separate from this channel and will not be connected to Six Soul anyway. And I've been doing stuff with them, but that's for like financial stuff. I figured out that YouTube's easy to make money if you just use the proper resources and just use your head and like just think, what do people click on the most? Okay, I'm gonna make stupid content based on that, stupid faceless content based on that. I have a few channels like that right now, and it's a really smart idea. I'm not gonna say what. I don't want to. Well, there's only one person watching this right now, but there's gonna be a lot of people watching on the replay, I guess. And I don't want to give people ideas because there's already so many people who are doing what I'm doing, and the market's going to dry up is basically what I'm saying. But there's tools out there. There's tools out there that making easy, clickable, watchable YouTube videos just like a snap. So I do recommend people do that if you're smart enough to pick up what I'm putting down. This might be a short fucking stream. What the fuck else should I talk about? Gnomes. Yeah, I used to do Shannon Ross or oh, dude, Shannon. They're both terrible, dude. I probably Jesus Aguilar would be my guess, but that's a low level MMA fight. So yeah, I haven't done a lot of research. Like that's the type of fight where like I'm not going to think about it very much. I don't even know who's favored right now. I didn't even look at it because they're both. I don't respect either of them, so I don't know. What I've noticed is that a lot of times when there's a lot like on this card, there's a lot of fighters from Australia and New Zealand. A lot of times when there's fighters from one part of the country or one part of the world fighting, whether they're in that part of the country or not, they tend to do well. Like there tends to be some sort of secret sauce. So that's one thing in favor of Shannon Ross is I think he's like the leadoff batter for all the Aussies and stuff. And the majority of the Australian fighters, they're favored. And I don't know. That's going to be one. Like all of the fights, like I don't make my actual final prediction until after the fight started, until literally a second after the fight started, because then I know when it starts. So like a fuckload of my Tapology picks, I end up betting against, and I'd say like 80% of those, like when I switched, I was right. Moreno Pantoja. I'm going Pantoja, Ilya. I think it's crazy that he's a 2-1 dog when he's proven that he can stuff Moreno's takedown. He's proven that he can deal with Moreno twice already. I talked about this earlier, but I was worried. I am worried that the UFC wants. I think it's going to be a decision again. I don't see either guy finishing each other. So keeping that in mind, I could definitely see Moreno winning a robbery decision. But who cares? Like a robbery decision is still lost. Who cares if they win? Like Aljo lost to Cejudo. I don't care what the fuck my bank account or my what's it called? My BetMGM account says I won that fucking bet because they fucking. Oh shit! There's a hornet in here. Larry might eat it. There's a hornet's nest by my window, like near my window, and I've been spraying shit, and like it's kept them at bay for like I don't know, like a solid month, and all of a sudden they just stopped caring. I think they got immune to it or something because now they're back. Larry, when they come inside, like Larry fucks them up. He's a good watchdog. But back to Moreno Pantoja, Pantoja's going to win the fight. I'm pretty sure. Unless they start at a super auspicious time for Moreno, I think Pantoja is going to win. However, would not surprise me to see Pantoja in reality win like 49-46, but then the judges give it to Moreno 48-47 because they want their Lego playing Mexican champion. So yeah, Crute Menefield. Well, Menefield won the first fight. I don't care what. Once again, I don't care what the fucking scorecard said. Menefield won the first fight. So, you think Crute can keep control around one this time and get it? That's another. I could see Crute like learning from his mistakes and fighting a much better fight this time around. But I don't know. I also don't have a whole lot of faith in Crute either. So, man, that's a fucking tough one. I think I'm gonna. I don't know. I think both guys are super, super, super. I'm not going to be betting on that fight unless one side is insanely auspicious and the other side is equally bad. So like it's like a double negative for one fighter. I'm probably not going to bet that fight because I really don't like betting on stupid fighters, and I think both fighters are pretty fucking stupid and cannot be relied on at all. But it should be a fun fight because it's so unpredictable. I guess I'm gonna go Menefield again, but fuck it, I'm gonna go Crute this time. Like I said, and it's solely just because there's so many other Australian fighters on this card. For whatever reason, that galvanizes the troops, or it does something astrologically. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I'm gonna go Crute this time. Alonzo botched 3 KOs. I know that's the thing. That's the thing about Alonzo on paper. On paper, should win this fight easily, just like he should have won it last fight really easily. I think Menifield sucks so fucking bad. I think he's fucking terrible. But I don't think Crute has the skill set to stop Menifield. But if he fights smart, Menifield will just stop himself. You know what I mean? It's one of those fights where it's just like Shannon Ross and Jesus Aguilar, where you're just like, it's just too low level to make a fully accurate prediction. You know, with Volk and Yair, I feel like I can make a very accurate prediction with that because they're both super high level fighters, and I know what they want to do, and I know their strategy. Like I know they have strategies going in. You know what I mean? We're like Menifield versus Crute. Like who the fuck knows what they're thinking going into any fight at all? I can guess just because this is a rematch. I can guess. I can definitely guess what Crute's thinking. Alonzo's a little bit more iffy, but yeah, I'm gonna go. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know, man. Check my Tapology when I pick it, but because that's gonna be one I switch back and forth on. Let's see. I picked Menifield last time to get taken down, but get up and KO Crute. I had Menifield by KO. I think in the round 1 or 2. I'd have to look at it. I know I had Menifield by KO. I want to say it was round 1 or round 2. Like I was very confident in it too, just because I just think on paper it's a bad matchup for Crute. Because I don't think Crute has any stand up at all. And his ability to deal with Menfield's power is like, it's not great. But it's just one of those shitty fucking fights, man. Like I said, it's one of those shitty fights I don't even like talking about because so many stupid things can happen in that fight. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see like a repeat of last match where you don't really get a satisfying victory. Like it just ends where you're like, oh, we still don't know who the best fighter is. Like I think it's Menifield, but he's a dumb monkey. So who knows? And that kind of happened last time, but Menifield didn't really get up. Crute pulled the gillet. Yeah. But I kind of feel Crute will have more to improve on. Alonzo's gonna fight the same. That's exactly what I feel, Ilya. I think Crute has the blueprint. Be like, okay, this is how I can win this fight. Alonzo does too, but he already utilized that blueprint. You know what I'm saying? So he can't. Yeah, as I said, he can't really improve much upon what he did. Like, yeah. So if Crute fights smart, he'll probably win. And I'm gonna. I guess right now I'm gonna slightly lean Crute just because of the Aussie mojo. Thoughts on Yair vote? Yeah, I've said this. So I think a lot of people are counting Yair out. I've seen so many comments online and shit being like, oh, we all know how this is gonna end and shit like that, and just automatically counting out Yair. I could genuinely see Yair knocking out Volk. I really can see it. He's long enough, quick enough, tricky enough where he can catch him with something fucking crazy. I don't think it's going to be like as crazy as like a zombie Yair type thing, because I don't think Volk's just going to fucking charge in like a wild man with 10 seconds left in the fight. So I don't think that's going to happen. But Yair's kicks are so fucking lightning fast, and he doesn't do this often. But if Yair's game plan is to kick Volk's legs and body just all the fucking time, just nonstop, kick his legs, kick his body, kick his legs, kick his body, kick his legs, kick his body, I think he's got a decent shot. So it depends on how Yair fights. If Yair fights regular Yair, I would say it's probably like 75-25 Volk. If Yair just fights like, oh, what was the fight we just saw? It was Benoit Saint Denis versus Israel Bonfim. If he fights like Benoit Saint Denis, just comes out and just kick to the body, 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 and not get tired. I think I could genuinely give Volk some issues. Like, what the fuck is Volk gonna do in that scenario? Maybe try to take Yair down. Yair's not an easy guy to take down. Yeah, dude. Like I would not be surprised. I think. Okay, here's my prediction. We will see a new champion on Saturday. Whether it's Pantoja or Yair, one of them is going to win. I don't think this is going to be a card where both champions retain. I really, really don't. Um, Especially Moreno. Um, Emmett fucking sucks, dude. I can't believe people were picking Emmett. Not that many people were picking Emmett, but of more people than I was expecting. When I saw that fight, okay, so when I saw that fight, I forgot what the odds were. Does anyone remember what the odds were? In my mind, I thought Ilya should have been like a -1,000 favorite. Like I know it was a step up in competition, but in reality, it really wasn't because chat. Who wins versus Josh Emmett versus Bryce Mitchell? A healthy Bryce Mitchell, because I think Bryce Mitchell wins that fight. I genuinely do. And Ilya destroyed Bryce Mitchell. So going to Emmett fight, I wasn't worried at all. And then astrologically, it was a pretty even. It was pretty even in the stars. So I thought Ilya was gonna fucking smoke him because it was even. But Emmett did good. Like the fact that Emmett survived that while not he had the slightest advantage in the stars, like a 7 point advantage, I calculated, which is like it's an advantage, but it's a negligible one, especially in the context of MMA. So the fact that he was able to withstand that, I actually think it has more to do with just having that slight advantage versus him just being a tough motherfucker. If Ilya had that slight advantage, I think he finishes in the first round. But yeah, props to Emmett for that fight. That was fucking nuts. And that card, every single fight I bet, I parlayed it with Ilya money line. I think it was like -400 or some shit, if I'm not mistaken. It was around -400. I was that confident, even not knowing. Like I did not care how bad potentially it could be in the stars astrologically for Ilya. I felt like even if he had like the death sentence, he would still win. It would just be a tough fight. That's how much of advantage Ilya has over. I think everyone besides Volk and Yair. I think in the fight, I think he destroys Max Holloway. I can't believe people think Max Holloway would beat Ilya. Like that wouldn't happen. I think Ilya would submit him in like round one. I was thoroughly surprised that Bonfim couldn't take those kicks when Saint Denis spammed him. Me too, man. I liked Bonfim in that fight. I did not bet that fight because Saint Denis had a slight advantage, and I knew how good Saint Denis was, so I didn't bet it. I should have just bet Saint Denis. I should have been like, "Fuck, that was like a solid underdog pick." But I highly, highly, highly rated Bonfim, and I still do. I think the Bonfim brothers are really good. This is a fucking tangent, but holy fucking shit, do I hate when a fighter loses and then all stupid MMA fans are like, oh, he was a fucking fraud. Bonfim was a fraud because he lost one time to another good up and comer, and now he's a fraud. No, he's not a fucking fraud, dude. He lost. This is fighting. You lose. This isn't fucking boxing where you fight cans all the way on to your way to the belt. No, you fight most fighters fight really, really good fighters on the way to the belt. And if you lose, it doesn't mean you're shitty, you know? But yeah, I was shocked that Saint Denis just fucking destroyed it. But if Yair comes with the same exact game plan, where he's like, I am just gonna destroy Volk's liver and see how he handles it in the first round, I think Yair's got a very good chance at walking away with the belt. This is Volk's hardest matchup in the division outside of Ilya, I would say. Oh, Ilya was 350. Okay, yeah. At -350, I was parlaying every single bet I made. I parlayed with Ilya because I that was a foregone conclusion in my mind. Volk would switch stances and close distance when Yair tries to switch. If he spams body kicks, also kick at the same time as Yair. Yeah, Volk is so fucking tricky and good. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, pound for pound, Volk is the number one fighter in the world, and he should be the number one fighter in the world, and he truly is. But just the physical advantages that Yair has, and it's the speed of his kicks. Volk is so fast, but I don't know if he's faster than Yair. Like speed matters so much, especially in the lower divisions, and I don't think Volk has a speed advantage against Yair. So, um, thoughts on Garam? Oh man, that was. Wait. No, I didn't. I didn't bet that fight. No, because he was a massive favorite, so I didn't bet that fight. Yeah, that. So I don't know, man. That was an interesting fight. It was a good fight. Like Garam was on his way to winning, but it was like a good first round. Garam dominated the second round, and then the third round he got caught. I don't know. I don't know if he's overrated. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, all these fucking Russians and Georgians and Caucasian fighters, they're also overrated because they're losing to like Brazilians and shit." But I wouldn't go that far. Like Demir he lost to Grant Dawson. I wouldn't say they're overrated because they lost. But Demir, that was a fight. I lost that one. That was, I think that was the only one I lost, betting wise. I didn't bet that much on Demir, but I did bet him because him and wait, no, that was I'm getting my timelines wrong. I didn't parlay. That was a different card. Never mind. But yeah, I had Demir in that fight, and I was completely wrong. I did not see Demir fucking getting manhandled by Dawson. I thought he'd be able to. I thought it was just going to be like a boring Demir, classic Demir stand-up fight, where Dawson was going to go for a few takedowns, not going to get him, maybe get one. Demir would get right back up. But no, Dawson legitimately just aljoed his ass. Like he just did the aljo, the aljo game plan, and it worked fucking perfectly. So I don't know, man. It was sad to see. He got paralyzed with a shot to a nerve. Wait. I think with the neck shot? With the neck shot? Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a fucking, well, the way he slumped over too, like you could tell it was a lucky shot from what's his name? From Brenner. Yeah, I agree with that. The fist landed right fucking here. I've never been punched in the neck full force. But I can't imagine that fucking feels good with 4-ounce gloves, man. Like, yeah, I think that was more of a fluke than anything. Although Brenner's good, I don't think Brenner's bad at all. So I don't think that's that's not a bad loss for Garam. Like but I think he's like 1-2 in the UFC now, which isn't great, just for his career. But like I don't rate him super high, but I don't rate him like super low because of that loss either. 100% agree. Bonfim will bounce back. Yeah. It's his first loss. Like you're gonna lose sometimes. I think it was a stupid matchup to begin with. Why are you matching up two guys who look very fucking promising? I hate when they do that. It makes no fucking sense. I guess Saint Denis gets the rub, I guess, but you can have him destroy someone else and have Bonfim face someone, more, I don't know, who's also not a prospect, like build these guys up a little bit. Garam beats Brenner 9 out of 10 times. I wouldn't go that far. I'd say 8 out of 10 times probably. But yeah, Garam would have won that fight if he didn't get hit in the fucking neck, dude. That was crazy. Although it was set up with a body shot, but still, what finished him was a goddamn neck shot. I ever seen the replay of that, and that honestly, like, where is the worst place on your body you could possibly get punched full force? Your balls, like the front of your neck, and then like the side of your neck and your temple. Those are probably like the worst spots. So, and you got him like, it looked like he dislodged one of his fucking vertebrae with that shot. Like that was a nasty fucking neck shot. You don't see those too often. I think Garam was overrated because he's not that cerebral and isn't a finisher. He's just flashy. Yeah, he's just flashy. He's got a weird fucking body type too. I don't know. I think it's just his last name. It probably is his last name. Like having having a Georgian or Russian last name, it's gonna automatically people are more likely to bet on you. So, which people say that's a casual thing. I don't think it's a casual thing. I think it's a logical thing. There's certain there's certain areas of the world that produce better fighters than other areas. It's like Russia is a really good area for producing fighters. It's Russia, Brazil, and America, and then like the areas surrounding Russia. Like Dagestan is technically Russia, but I don't consider it Russia. I consider it its own fucking thing because it's nothing like the rest of Russia. So I think Russia and the Russian adjacent areas very, very, very good at producing fighters. So it's not really a casual thing to be more likely to put money on someone from that area because it just makes sense, dude. It just makes fucking sense. And I'm not big on saying, oh, like I hate fighters. Like I'm from fucking Chicago, man. I'm from here. Like, if you say you're from an area and that's what makes you tough, like you're a fucking retard. Like fucking Maserol. I'm from fucking Miami, man. I got a hairline like the McDonald's arches, man. It's an American classic, man. Like that shit fucking pisses me off. But there is some validity to it as long as you don't believe the validity yourself. Um, Dawson beats Poirier and Gaethje. Oh, I hate. Oh man, I hate. I hate that take because I 100% agree with it, Ilya. I think Dawson probably just fucking Aljos Poirier and Gaethje probably pretty easily, and I hate that. But the good thing is, neither of those guys will ever face Grant Dawson. Neither of those guys are going to take a fight against Grant Dawson. So while I agree with that take 100%, even though it hurts my soul, it doesn't matter because those at their stage in their career, they're only taking fights against fighters who are gonna fight them, as they should. Like both Gaethje and Poirier have earned the right to only take fighters who are gonna fucking put on a good show and make it worth their while. Like Poirier is set for life. He doesn't need a fight anymore. So why the fuck would he ever take a fight versus Grant Dawson? He wouldn't. He wouldn't. Top three hottest fighters. What's up, Cage? Top three hottest fighters. Virna Jandiroba. What's her name? She's that ugly one we just saw. So I'm Preacher. I'm Preacher, by the way. I'm pretty sure I knew that. Did you hear that? That's a good fart. Okay, for real though. Top three hottest fighters. I'm gonna say Norma Dumont. I want to say Jessica Rose Clark, but she's like every time, like she's past her prime and she's getting more and more fake she's getting less and less my type by the day. So, Turner Hooker. I will come back to that. Yes, that Turner all day for sure. Although Hooker's the only thing that's the two things that scare me about Turner Hooker is once again the New Zealand Aussie kind of mojo on that card. It could give Hooker a little bit of advantage. Also, did Hooker just bleach his hair? Did Izzy hook him up with some like black magic tips and be like, dude, bleach your hair and do this fucking ritual and have sex with this guy and you'll win your fight? I could see fucking Izzy, passing on that information to Hooker. So like on a pure fight basis, I think like just pure fight skill wise, I think Turner should win 10 times out of 10. But with those extracurricular activities that Hooker may or may not be doing, I would not be surprised if Hooker ends up winning that fight. I'm scared because of the Malarkey fight. I remember Turner got hurt and taken it. Yeah, yeah. And I don't rate Malarkey at all. I think Malarkey is fucking garbage. But I still think Turner is after the Gamrot fight. Turner looks really fucking good. He won that fight. I was stunned, fucking stunned that they gave a robbery decision to a white fighter versus a black fighter. I think that Like that never fucking happens. It never happens. And especially to a guy like Jalen Turner, who could be a monster in the lightweight division. You would think the UFC would want to promote that guy. So I was stunned when I saw that decision. But especially since Gamrot, I mean, he's from Poland and they've got a good fan base. So I guess he's somewhat marketable, but he's not like a great personality. So it's not like, and I don't think he's bringing in a ton of viewership. I remember Turner got hurt and taken down, bumps it down from 10 out of 10 to 8.5. Yeah, well, if that bumps it down to 10 out of 10 to 8.5 out of 10, then the blonde hair, potential black magic shit with Izzy, and then the Aussie Mojo on the card, that's got to bump it down to like 7.5. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hooker somehow wins, but I feel like Turner should win. Turner definitely, dude. Turner, there's robbery decisions every fucking week, so I don't really like complaining about it too much. But yeah, Turner is a guy that one really pissed me off because Turner is a guy that I think has a lot of just very interesting matchups at the top of the division. So I want to see him get to the top of the division so we can see those matchups. Turner won on one body kick, hurt Gamrot in round 2. Dude, yeah. I think Turner Hooker is over 1.5. I agree with that. Turner finishes him with body shots and knees, end of round 2. I think it's going to be a decision, actually. I think it's going to be a decision. But see, all these things, they so fucking much depends on the position of the stars and the sun and the moon and shit. Yair would get fucking smoked by Islam. I'm pretty sure. Yair would get smoked by Islam. Just matchup wise, it's not a good matchup for him. I don't think Yair has the ability to stay on his feet like Volk does, and he definitely doesn't have the ability to stay out of danger when he does get taken down like Volk does. I like Volk was making Islam look like a fucking retard when they were on the ground. I thought. Like Volk was the one doing damage. Like Islam was just backpacking him, but he was getting punched in the face. They were just slight rabbit punches. They weren't wasn't doing any damage, but still, like Volk was winning those exchanges on the ground. I don't think Yair would be able to do that. I think if Yair tried to do that, he'd get choked out. Islam would get TKO'd in round 1. Oh, Yair. Yeah. I think Yair would get. I think he'd get subbed in round 1, or ground and pound in round 1. Either ground and pound or submission. I think his probably. I see that as a arm triangle choke. I think he gets him down, beats him up a little bit, and Yair goes like this to defend, and then Islam snatches that up and takes him out 10 out of 10 times. Yeah, I don't think Yair has a fucking chance in hell against Islam, which is sad. Because I like Yair. I really like Yair. He's a steroid cheat, but everyone's a steroid cheat. Like, I don't hold it against John Jones for taking steroids. I don't hold it against Yair for taking steroids. I don't hold it against Sean O'Malley for taking steroids. I don't hold it against any fighter. I'm trying to think if there's a fighter I do hold it against. I really don't, because they're all fucking doing performance enhancing drugs. And even like there are performance enhancing drugs that are legal. That are USADA approved. So they're all on them. It's just they're all on the legal ones that aren't as good, and they're all on the ones that they aren't legal, but they aren't illegal either, because USADA doesn't even know their fucking existence, because that's how this shit works. It's like USADA. It's like the cheaters. They're not cheaters. They're just enhancing your performance is not cheating. Like, why would you ever put something in your body that isn't going to enhance your performance? You know what I mean? Like, I think either Tylenol or Benadryl. Maybe it might be Benadryl. One of those two are illegal for the USADA testing pool. It can't be in your system. Fucking why? They're performance enhancers. If that's in your system, you're not going to perform as well as if it's not in your system. So why the fuck is it illegal? I don't know. USADA is really fucking strange with their rules and shit and what is and isn't legal. and like their substances and shit. It would be so fucking easy. So fucking easy for USADA to change their protocols, and instead of like testing for substances, you they just look at testosterone levels and see if it fluctuates. Like it's okay, little bit. See, like because I love using the John Jones DC2 fight as an example because it's public knowledge and it's a perfect example. Both fighters, their testosterone were in like it's like 1 week they were tested and it was like fucking off the charts, like way the fuck off the charts, unexplainably off the charts. And then the next week it's like a fucking infant, but they don't get flagged by USADA. Or DC didn't get flagged by USADA. Jones did, but DC didn't. And I still don't understand. It's because he got flagged for a substance and DC didn't. But their testosterone levels were so suspicious that there's no fucking way that either guy wasn't juicing to the fucking maximum. And look at DC's physique in that fight. DC looked better than he ever looked. Ever. DC gave Jones his hardest fight in that second fight, even though he got head kicked. He was winning 2-1 going into that fourth round. And I remember being super nervous for John because I was rooting for John. I don't think I've ever rooted for DC ever. DC was one of my favorite fighters to root against. He was just a very, very hateable personality for me. But he looked so like his body. He didn't look jacked or anything, but he had the least amount of fat on him, and you could tell that he was on something because it wasn't his normal body type, and he knew like he knows he's going up against a cheater too, so he's gonna. What was my point in this? Anyways, like he was cheating, and people don't consider him a cheater. They call. I hear so many people call Cormier the natty goat. Like, how is he the fucking natty goat? Dude, like, he was cheating. If you ain't roiding, you ain't trying. Yeah, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And that's just a fact. DC won his heavyweight title fucking not accidentally poking Stipe in the eyes. Fucking actually like he would throw a punch and at the very end of the punch, he would flick his fingers out. DJ is the natty goat. I don't think DJ's natty. I especially going his most recent fight. Larry, hold on. Okay, Larry, hold on. Let me get it for you. Okay, come on. Hey, get up there. Get up there. Do you want up there or not? I'm opening it for you, stupid. You're so dumb. Get up there. Do you want it or no? Okay. Jesus. Yeah, Gaethje or Poirier? Poirier. I got Poirier. A lot of people are picking Gaethje in this fight, but I think we saw it in this first fight, and I've said this before. Someone else has said this too. I don't remember who, but it's the proper take, in my opinion. If you know for a fact that a fight is going to be a war, like it's not going to end early, and it's just going to be two guys just slugging it out, there's not many better fighters to take in that scenario than Dustin Poirier. In fact, there might not be a better fighter to take in that scenario than Dustin Poirier. And because I am 99% sure that's exactly what that fight's going to be, I have to go Dustin. And I think Dustin is just more defensively sound than Gaethje. And he can just take a better beating, dude. Like what that first fight, I like watching that fight live. I was like, oh my God, Gaethje's got this shit, dude. Like Poirier is not going to be able to fucking walk. How the fuck is he going to win this fight? And Poirier just fucking toughed it out. He's a Louisiana swamp tank, you know? Like you have to put Poirier's lights out to stop him. And Gaethje can do that, but I don't think when I say he can do it, he's got the power to put him out. But I don't think he has the physical ability to apply that power to put him out, if that makes sense. Like I just don't see him catching Poirier that clean on the chin. Like Poirier's his defense is too good. Costa or Ikram? Costa for sure. Costa. I think we just saw this with Strickland versus Magomedov. Another fight that pisses me off. Everyone's saying Abus got fucking what's the new shit retards are saying now? He got fraud checked or something. He fought like the number 3 guy in the world and he's ranked number 50. He's supposed to fucking lose, dude. He had no experience and he fought like an idiot because he has no experience. That doesn't mean he's bad. I'm still very high on Magomedov. I think he's very good. I think he's a problem for a lot of people in the middleweight division. As long as he works on his cardio, which he will. Like he got a very valuable lesson this last fight. Like I don't get it, but people are gonna say the same fucking shit. Costa is gonna probably knock out Ikram. I think it's just gonna be too big of a jump, too quick. And then people are like, oh, Ikram, he sucks. Like, no, he doesn't suck. He's just fighting someone he probably shouldn't be fighting at this point in time. Jan slams Pereira in triangles. I know, man. I hate that matchup. I love Pereira, and the UFC should never ever match up Pereira against anyone who's gonna have an inkling to grapple him. You know, like why would you do that? Like Pereira, he's such a fun fighter to watch strike. Why would you even risk it, dude? And he's old too. He's like 37. Why the fuck? Why in the fuck would you do that to like a marketable older fighter who's still new to the UFC? It makes no sense. And also former champion. I hate that matchup. If Jan is a retard and just it strikes with him, then I think Pereira is going to win. Well, even then, though, man, even if Jan stands up with Pereira, Jan's got to be the best checker of leg kicks in the sport, right? He's like number 1 or number 2. He checks fucking everything. So, and that's a big part of Pereira's game is all those fucking leg kicks. So I could see Pereira having issues on the feet too with Jan, just because he's not going to be able to do that to Jan. So I just hate that fucking matchup, man. Like I think Jan's gonna win, and I don't want Jan. I like Jan, but I don't want him to win. Pereira gets subbed in 30 seconds on the ground. Probably. Like it's hard for me to say because I haven't really seen I haven't seen like footage or I haven't seen Pereira like actually deal with someone good on the ground. So it's hard for me to say for sure how good he is. But my guess is that Jan probably just does whatever he wants to once he gets him on the ground. I actually think rear naked by Jan. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Robert the Weeper gets submitted round 1. The Weeper. I could okay, Washington. If DDP is a lot of people are counting out DDP. I am not. I am definitely not. DDP has a route to win, and that is the route to win in round 1, whether it be a knockout or submission. That's the route, I think, because I think Robert's probably going to win rounds 2 and 3. And DDP starts fast. Robert starts slow. Robert doesn't start slow, but he's a builder. So that's the way to get him. And I said this before, like if DDP's nose surgery is like a game changer for him, he's a legit scary fucking middleweight fighter, dude. He's legit scary. I'm still gonna go Robert just because he's tested and proven, and in my opinion, he is the best middleweight on the planet. He's been the best. Even when Izzy knocked him out, I thought, okay, well, Rob's still the best middleweight on the planet, and he's proven that. It's Izzy and Rob; they're the 2 best, and then there's just such a massive drop off after those 2 guys. But DDP's good. Like, I don't know. I like DDP. I like him. I think he's good. And what I really like about DDP is that even though he gasses in like a round, he doesn't quit. Like he's got that dog in him where he'll gas quickly, but it doesn't really matter that he's gassed because he still will push 100%. He's not scared of gassing to the point where he can't even defend himself. Like some fighters will do that. They'll gas like 80% and they're like, oh shit, I've got to just fucking conserve my energy so I can at least defend myself. He's not like that. So, but he's not going to be able to push Robert Whittaker, you know? So I don't know, man. And I don't even know if I want DDP to win because as much as I want to see DDP versus Izzy build up, I think a Strickland versus Izzy build up would be way better. Way better. DDP is not going to call Izzy Chinese. He's not going to do that. Like Strickland's going to do that incessantly. Strickland's going to make Izzy so pissed off that Izzy's going to, I don't even know if he can. Izzy sold his soul so much. Like he sold so much, so many parts of his soul. I don't even know if there's anything left to sell. I really don't. But if there is, if there's some sort of morsel grain left for Izzy to sell, he would sell it against Strickland because he'd want to get that finish against him. Abus is 33 soon. Is he really? Abus is 33 soon. I did not know that. But that doesn't really matter though. Like it's middleweight. If this was featherweight or flyweight or something, then it matters. But dude, Pereira just won the belts at 37, right? Like it really doesn't matter at middleweight. And I still think Abus is a good fighter. He got exposed for fighting a much better trained. Like he fought the worst possible fighter he really could have fought in Sean Strickland, you know, like just matchup wise, he was never going to win that fight. Did I bet on Strickland? I didn't. I wanted to bet on Strickland. My phone was being gay and it wouldn't let me fucking bet once I saw the beginning of that fight. The funny thing of that fight, they wanted Strickland to lose that fight for sure, because typically after the co-main event, there's like. So between fights, it depends on how many fights they need to get through and everything. So it varies. But typically, like if they're not in a rush, it's usually about 14 to 15 minutes since the end of the octagon, or since the end of them reading the decision. It's about 14 to 15 minutes until the next fight. And then after the co-main event, it's usually about 20 to 25 minutes because there's more of the promo build-up shit. But with this last card, I think it was like 10 minutes. And the reason for that was because the new moon, or it wasn't a new moon, but it was close to a new moon, right? No, it wasn't. No, I take that back. It wasn't. It was still a moon, but moon is bad. But it was like I forgot what it was. It wasn't full. So moon is always bad unless it's full. And if it's full, then it's incredible. And I have a story about that in a second. I made a lot of money on a full moon, last full moon. Basically like the moon was like Strickland was the favorite. So he was the ascendant and the moon had already risen. And basically the quicker they got that fight started, the worse it was for Strickland. So if that fight would have started 10 minutes later, like every other fucking main event would have, Strickland probably wouldn't have even had that bad first 3 minutes. But I swear to God, they did that on purpose. Like they do it in NBA all the time, all the fucking time. This is why I fucking love betting on the WNBA because they don't do this shit. They don't fucking do this shit. So like you can actually parlay shit with like relative assurance that the fight's going to start exactly when they say it's going to start. The basketball match is going to start when they say it's going to start, which is huge. Alex was 33 when wait, what? No, he wasn't. What? No, he wasn't. Has it been that? Wait, isn't Alex 37 now? Am I? Hi, baby. Isn't Alex 37? I could have sworn Alex was 37. He was 34. No, he was 35. Oh, he's 35 now. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Wait, Cage, Pfeiffer, and Nickel. Yeah. Wait, who's Nickel? Nickel's fighting just some newcomer now. But he was going to destroy Tracia Gore. So yeah, so I don't think it really changes much. Crute round one sub is 700. I don't think man, I wouldn't make that bet, but it's a decent bet. Thoughts on Cannonier Vittori? Cannonier definitely on the sauce. Oh my God, dude. I don't think I've ever seen uh, an increase in output from a bigger guy like that. Well, how old is he? He's like 38 or 39 or 40. Like Cannonier's old and he takes care of himself and he's a very well conditioned athlete, that's for sure. Um, but God damn, like I don't think like he put on, I mean, it was an incredible performance, but that's definitely EPO or blood doping or he did some sort of or maybe it was some legal form. Maybe he's just sleeping in an altitude tent. I don't fucking know. But he did some sort of red blood cell increasing thing. And I know this personally. I donated blood for the first time last month. And I'm literally like a few days ago was the first time where I was able to have us like I go we have a pool out here. And yesterday or last time I went to the pool was Monday, I think. Was the first time I was able to swim and actually hold my breath for the normal amount of time and actually swim my normal distance and everything because I had less red blood cells in me. So I know it really has a huge effect. Did you see Yair was training at 10,000 feet? I did not, but that's very smart. That's how you get more red blood cells in you. Elevation Aztec Temple. That's really fucking genius. If I was a UFC fighter, I would train at whatever gym. Or what I would do, I would go to the highest possible place that's like feasible for a lot of other fighters to migrate to, and just build a fucking gym there, like over 10,000. I don't know what's like a feasible height that people can reach, like where there's like civilization around in the area. I have no fucking idea, but like I believe there's civilizations at like 11,000-12,000 feet. They're not like big ones, but I believe they are. I think in Ecuador, Quinto, that's a really really high up city. I know that because it's right on the fucking equator and it's not hot ever because it's so fucking high up. So that's where I'd fucking train, dude. Like, why wouldn't you? That's such an advantage. That's literally like taking free EPO. That's what you're doing. For no downside. The only downside is when you move there, you have to deal. They call it altitude sickness, but I've had to deal with altitude sickness just from giving blood. It's the same exact shit. You don't have enough red blood cells to fully oxygenate your body, but that's easily combated with breathing exercises and shit. And then you get used to it, and then you're better off for it. Didn't think you were even allowed to go up in those temples. I think 12,000 feet. Jesus, that's insane, man. That's fucking insane. And here's the thing. Yeah, it's four times Salt Lake City, and the way the oxygen works at altitude, like it goes exponentially. Like the oxygen level at 1,000 feet versus sea level is the difference between that is way smaller than the difference between like 11,000 feet and 12,000 feet. Like the oxygen exponentially decreases as you go up. That's why climbing mountains is such a fucking brutal task. It has nothing to do with the height of the mountain itself and everything to do with the amount of oxygen you have to fucking get your ass up there. After fighting Jeremy Stevens in 2019, Yair only returned to the UFC in 2021. Yes, he took a 2-year break to improve his skills in cardio. During this time, he focused on training at the Aztec Temple. He also probably had a USADA suspension that just wasn't fucking mentioned. He coincidentally dodged USADA three times at the time. Yeah. He probably just got popped by USADA and they didn't. I just saw, I don't remember who it was. It was a low-level UFC fighter that got popped by USADA. And that surprised the fuck out of me because I thought USADA doesn't say that shit anymore. So they do. So if you're like a shitty low-level fighter that it doesn't matter if you're in the UFC or not, they'll just release that information and just slander your name. But if you have a name, like if the UFC can make money off you, you won't hear a fucking peep about it anymore. That's fucked up, man. It's really fucked up. And I don't know. This is so back to the Cannoneer shit. Like he didn't look good against Sean Strickland, but 2 fights after his championship fight against Izzy, when Cannoneer has the most money in his life he's ever had. Now he's looking better than ever at 39 years old. Now his cardio is just fucking insane. Like, yeah, he got money for better peds. That's pretty fucking obvious. Really surprising he didn't look like that versus Strickland. Maybe he respected Sean too much and he didn't respect Vettori. Maybe. And speaking of Vettori, here's the craziest shit about that fight. I gotta pee. You guys are gonna hear a good stream pee. A good stream on stream. How the fuck? And I know Vettori's retarded. Like, we all know Vettori has more than a touch of Down syndrome. But how in the hell do you go 5 rounds, you get pieced up, like brutally pieced up for the majority of those rounds? You have many fights in your past where all you do is just hold someone against the cage. He did it to Izzy multiple times. Like both Izzy Vettori fights, all he did was just try to hold Izzy against the cage and do nothing. And many other fights, but all Vettori would do would just kind of grind you against the cage and not really do anything. And that's like a Vettori's MO up until like a few fights ago. That's all he would really do. So that's in his back pocket. How the fuck do you not do that? Not even attempt it. He didn't even attempt a takedown. He didn't attempt to clinch him or grapple him or put him against the fence or to do anything else than what was currently going on. That was genuinely one of the most weird fucking displays of low fight IQ I've ever seen. Like, if I didn't know better, I would say, did they pay him to fucking keep it standing? That's what I thought with Strickland Pereira. I was like, oh, they had to have paid him to keep it standing because what the fuck? But this, like, there's not like they're fucking backing Cannoneer. It's not like they want Cannoneer to be champion, so that didn't happen. Marvin Vettori genuinely is that fucking stupid. But what was his the broadcast? I was seeing, like, I was getting commercials, so I couldn't listen to the corner. But what the fuck was Vittori's corner saying? If they weren't saying, take this motherfucker down, put him in a clinch, try something, anything else. Holy shit. You're going to have the worst CTE of all time, dude. Like, I know you have the best chin of all time, but that's going to translate to the worst CTE of all time 20 years down the line. So, Hamzat subs Cannoneer off the first scramble. This is a new Cannoneer, so it's hard. I tend to agree, but I don't know. Maybe Cannoneer is strong enough to, if Cannoneer is strong enough to shake Hamzat off him, I think that's a really good fight. If he's not, then yeah, Hamzat just grapes him in a round. Strickland took his back immediately. So did Brunson. Oh, true. Do you still watch Kyle? No, I watch probably about 30 to 40% of his actual videos. As far as his streams go, pretty much zero. Like, I've probably, this entire year, I've probably racked up like an hour and a half of total stream time with Guru. It's just not his fault, but it's just not fun anymore. There's 1,000 people in live chat now. A lot of them are fucking just, newbies, and they don't really know. And he's got to cater to them, and he's got a crippling coke habit now. I was in a Guru stream for like 5 minutes, like not that long ago. I want to say like a week ago. And he was coked. He wasn't Conor McGregor coked out of his mind level, but he was clearly coked, which made for a more entertaining stream than the one I previously went on, which was I was on and I was off. But I was like, God damn, like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to see. Like, I don't want to see I don't want to see Guru spiraling down the drain. So yeah, I don't watch his live streams. The only streamer that I really watch is Rigo these days, and I'm not in like every Rigo stream, but like I don't think it's healthy mentally to watch people's streams all the time. Um, and for the longest time when I left Jerusalem, I just didn't watch any streams. But it is fun to be in a stream every once in a while. So Rigo streams is like once or twice a week I'll go in a Rigo stream and shoot the shit. Um, so that's where I get my stream on these days, I'd say. Do gingers have souls? Ask Toast. I'm guessing no. I'm guessing like from my experience, no. But I'm not a ginger myself, so yeah, I'd definitely ask Toast or Bo Nickel. Dewey Cooper. Who's Dewey Cooper? Who the fuck is Dewey Cooper? What happened to my nose? Well, I mean, I wasn't born with a big nose, but as I grew into my or I didn't grow into my nose. My nose grew into the atmosphere around me. But why it's bent was because 10 years ago exactly, almost exactly 10 years ago, I was playing basketball against a guy. If you're familiar with Jamal Crawford, this guy, he was built exactly like Jamal Crawford. He was like 6'4", 6'5", like a lanky, willowy, super athletic black man. And I was guarding him just in the game of pickup. And because I'm about 5'11" ish, so I was about 5-6 inches shorter than this guy. He was backing me up, and when he turned, he elbowed me in my nose, and so it's crooked on this side, and it deviated my septum. And I played through it. I fucking played through it, and stupidly, I played through so much stupid shit, fucking pickup games. But yeah, that's what happened to it. It sucked. My nose was already a super unfortunate, kind of Jewy looking nose, and then he knocked my nose this way, and now it's a super Jewy looking nose. So yeah, I'm not salty about it, but like part of me thinks he fucking threw that elbow on purpose, and then part of me doesn't. Like I am the perfect height to get just elbowed by that guy, but at the same time, you should kind of know. I don't know. Like I used to play basketball with this really short guy. I think it was like 5'3" or something. I hated playing basketball against people a lot shorter than you is the fucking worst. You think it's an advantage. It's a disadvantage. You don't want to be that much taller. Like you do and you don't. Like guarding them one-on-one, it's impossible to guard someone fucking 8-9 inches shorter than you. It's fucking impossible unless you're way more athletic than them. You're just not going to have the ability to cover that ground because they're so fucking shifty. But I played against this guy all the fucking time. I never elbowed. It never happened with us, and there was like a similar height difference. So I don't know. Dewey Cooper is Vittori striking. Oh, okay. So is Dewey. So Dewey Cooper sounds like a name of a retard. Like if someone had Down syndrome, like Dewey would be like a good name for someone with Down syndrome. Does he have Down syndrome? Like was he not saying, dude, put this motherfucker up against the cage, try to go for a trip, try to go for a single leg, try to go for a double, do something else, do something in the clinch. Like it makes no fucking sense, dude. Still one of the most baffling things. I think Larry's got to eat. One of the most baffling things I think I've ever seen in MMA. It's like, okay, you have a great chin, but why would you want to give yourself CTE for fucking 5 rounds? All right. Larry Bear's got to eat. There you go, buddy. There you go, little guy. There you go. Enjoy, little buster. Enjoy. I was finally able to get him his favorite food. His food is hard to find sometimes, and the last time I couldn't get it, so I had to give him his second favorite food, which he doesn't eat nearly as much. So he was on that last few weeks. But yesterday I went out and found him his favorite food, so he's just been fucking gobbling that shit up. But yeah, man, Where does Vittori? Here's the question: where does Vittori go from here? Like it's Vittori's like he doesn't really improve ever, or he'll make improvements at like a snail's pace, but he really doesn't improve. Like who's he gonna fight, man? Like I don't. I like Vittori. I think Vittori is great for the sport just because he's so unintentionally hilarious. But what the fuck are they gonna do with Vittori? Who are the Vittori versus Brendan Allen? Maybe I could see that Vittori versus Brendan Allen. Um, I'm trying to think of like other because they already did Vittori Delize. Uh, I think Brendan Allen beats Vittori too. Um, I don't know who else is like lower in the ranks in middleweight. I would need to know, or maybe Vittori versus what's his name, the perpetual gatekeeper of the middleweight of the lower ranks in the middleweight division. What's his name? Fucking oh my god, what's his name? The fucking God damn, I can't think of his fucking name. It's bothering the shit out of me. He's been in the UFC for fucking ever, dude. Um, and he's always ranked like 15. It's like it never changes. Um, fuck, I can't fucking remember his name. But dude, dude, I read all the chat. Doge, I read all the chat. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, you want me to just reread chat? Like, why don't you fucking type something? Um, I'm trying to think of this motherfucker's name, dude. I know you guys know it. Curtis Frank. No, not Chris Curtis. No, the oh my god, the fuck is his fucking name? He's been in the UFC for fucking ever, and he's always hovering around 15. Um, Perpetual Gatekeeper. Who did he fight recently? I think he fought. I think he was Uriah Hall's last fight in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. Or he was one of Uriah Hall's last fights in the UFC, and I can't remember his fucking name. He looks a little bit like a tattooed Whitaker ish, kinda. You know who I'm talking about. How does no one know what I'm talking about? Not Muniz. No. What the fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck is this guy's name? Oh my god. I wish I actually I could pull it up in another room, but um he's been around for fucking ever. He's a mainstay in the middleweight division. He's like the only other guy I could think that Vittori could fight and it'd be like an interesting fight. I think Vittori would win. I don't know, Vittori's just not good. There's the problem with Vittori. He's such like a slow twitch physical specimen. Like I think Vittori's like I think he's one of the best slow twitch physical specimens we've probably ever seen in the UFC. Um, but he doesn't have any like he doesn't fight to his advantage like that. He should be more of a pressure fighter. I mean, he kind of is, but I don't know. He just doesn't fight to his fucking strengths, man. Uh, what the fuck is that motherfucker's name? It's pissing me off, dude. Oh my god, it's pissing me off. I want to say Robert. His name's not fucking Robert. I keep thinking of Whitaker. Oh, Brad Tavares. Brad Tavares. Thank you, Washington. Holy shit. Brad Tavares. Yes. Told you. Yeah. Kind of looks like a tatted up Whitaker. I mean, Whitaker is kind of tatted up too, but yeah, Brad Tavares versus Vittori. I could see. This is not a whole lot of, unless you want to unless you really want to move up Joe Pyfer or Pfeiffer, whatever it's pronounced, or Bo Nickel. If you really want to move them up, I think Vittori would be a great opponent for either of those guys. But anyway, I think for Vittori's career, I think you have to start looking at guys lower in the rankings and kind of use his name to boost someone else. Because he's just too stupid, man. He's too fucking. He proved it in that Cannonier fight. That was the stupidest. He didn't wait. He didn't fight Uriah. I could have sworn he fought Uriah in his. Maybe I was thinking of someone else. I could have sworn it was Brad Tavares versus Uriah Hall in his last fight or second last fight, but I don't know. I'm my ability to recall fights that happened more than a month ago is fucking horrible, dude. That's one thing Guru has that I really wish I had. Like he can remember a fight years ago. Right, his last fight was Muniz. I barely even remember that, man. Barely even remember that. I genuinely, did Muniz win or did Hall? I don't remember, dude. I fucking don't remember. All the middleweight is very fucking just not memorable anyways, besides the upper part of the division. And even the upper part of the division, Izzy and Robert, compare that to like the upper part of any other division. It's just, it leaves a lot to be desired. I hate when people say Izzy's a good champ. Like Izzy's one of the goats. He's not, dude. He's not a middleweight goat. I don't even like. Obviously, Anderson is a middleweight goat. I think Prime Rockhold destroys Prime Izzy Adesanya. Destroys him. I truly believe that. Prime Rockhold was so underrated because he had the belt for such a short time. So his prime wasn't really recognized. But Prime Rockhold was a fucking animal. And I think Prime Rockhold just takes him down and does whatever the fuck he wants with him. Dude, Prime Anderson makes Prime Izzy look like Prime Forrest Griffin. You know? I think Izzy runs out of the cage crying if he fights Prime Anderson. Hell, I think if Izzy fought Anderson today, as long as you give Anderson all the proper roids and PEDs and shit, I think Anderson makes Izzy look like a fucking Forrest Griffin today. That's how much of an advantage. That's how much better Anderson is than is. Like they're not even comparable. They're not even in the same ballpark. Fuck, I rank Rich Franklin higher than Izzy. Not in terms of like skill set, because obviously the sport has evolved since the Rich Franklin days, but in terms of like how impressive their title reign was, Rich Franklin to me is number 2, and Izzy's number 3 in middleweight in terms of title reigns. And in terms of skill, it's Anderson number 1, Luke Rockhold number 2, and then then Robert number 3, Izzy number 4. I think that's probably what I'd go with. Izzy's just not that good, dude. He just does a whole bunch of fucking gay black magic shit to help him win and just sell his soul. Like he has no issue. I don't know. He does have issues with selling his soul. He really did not want to double down on his selling his soul against Pereira. He really did not want to do it, but he ended up doing it. But if it wasn't for that, he's not a bad fighter. I don't disrespect Izzy's skills. I don't think Izzy sucks at all. Clearly the first or second best middleweight in the world. I don't want to say that because okay, chat right now. Who wins? Right, if they fight right now, if Bo Nichols' opponent, this is obviously hypothetical, never happened. Bo Nichols' opponent drops out. Izzy takes this fight on short notice. Who wins? Bo Nickel versus short notice Izzy. Because I got Bo Nickel 9 times out of 10 minimum, probably 9.5 times out of 10. And I don't even rate Bo Nickel that high. I just don't see what the fuck Izzy would do to stop Bo Nickel's attack. I just don't see it. So it's hard to say Izzy's even like the second, because there's guys coming up that might be better than him. You know, Bo Nickel. I don't think Bo Nickel is a better fighter than Izzy Adesanya. I don't think that at all. But that matchup, I think Bo wins like pretty much every single time, unless Izzy's selling his soul. Hell, even if Izzy, well, he already sold it at least twice, like confirmed at least twice. Yeah, I'm going to say twice. I don't even know if he can do it a third time. But even if he did, even if he attempted to sell his soul again and triple down on that, Bo Nickel's a ginger, dude. He already doesn't have a soul. So you got one soulless guy versus another soulless guy. It's going to cancel out. I'm still going to go Bo Nickel in that fight. what? Why is Bo Nickel on the main card? Like, we have Robbie Lawler's retirement match. Retirement match. Like, that's gonna bring in viewers. I know. I understand they wanna boost they want to boost Bo Nickel's name and shit. But I don't think putting him on the main card boosts his name as much as putting him on the main feature fight of the prelims. You know, like if I'm making the card, Bo Nickel is headlining the prelims for sure. More people are going to watch that anyways. More casuals are probably. Oh, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, but I truly think the best spot in the card for visibility is the last fight of the prelims, because by that time most people who only watch the main card, they'll probably check out the last couple fights of the prelim. It depends on what the prelim fights are, but if it's a Bo Nickel fight, they're probably gonna tune in. Izzy beats Bo. Can he stop his takedowns? I don't think so. I don't think he can stop a ginger genetic freak's takedowns. Like, Bo Nickel is like, he's not a American wrestler. He's the American wrestler. Izzy's takedown defense is really fucking good. It's not really fucking. It's good. It's really good. Obviously, he's worked on it since before he got in the UFC. He knew that he'd have to, and it would be key for his success. So he's got really good takedown defense. But I don't think, I would be stunned if he's ever even grappled once with someone with the wrestling ability of Bo Nickel. So that's going to be hard to prepare for. I like Bo in that matchup. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And let's say Bo Nickel wins this fight within a minute, which he will. Although, to be fair, I don't know. I have no idea who the guy, low blow. Yeah, especially if they allow him to do low blows, Izzy has no chance. But I don't think Bo meant to do the low blow. But it was crazy that the ref just like saw that and just allowed it to happen. It was like, no, you're fine. So I don't like that. That was on the ref. That wasn't on Bo. It wasn't intentional, I don't think. Dude, speaking of refs, I think I'll end on this because I'm gonna go pretty soon. It's already getting hot in here, and I want to put the AC on. The refs have been so fucking shitty. Specifically, Keith Peterson and who else? Mark Smith and Herb Dean. Holy fucking shit! Something's going on, man. Like, something is fucking going. And I keep getting fucked by all these things. Like. What was the most recent one? It was a Keith Peterson thing. It was last week. Keith Peterson did something really fucking stupid, and I don't remember what. Herb Dean the worst. Keith Peterson is trying to take that crown away from Herb Dean. Herb Dean is definitely in the pocket of the Mafia or the UFC or some betting organization or something. Because he's so inconsistent. He'll have the earliest stoppages and he'll have the latest stoppages. Like, Herb Dean's stoppages are never like, oh, that was a good stoppage. It's either that was way too early or way too late. And it's because he has either has money on it, or he works for someone who does have money on it, or he's just working for the UFC, something along those lines. Because way back in the day, Herb Dean really was the gold standard of refs. He truly was the best ref. It was him and John McCarthy. Big John, like, those were the two best refs way back in the day. And then somewhere along the line, Herb got bought out, or he got in trouble with gamblers, or something like that happened. Because I swear to God, I can even read it in his energy sometimes, where he's like, fuck, the guy that's supposed to win is losing. Well, fuck, how much more of a chance can I give him that's reasonable, where, like, I'm not going to lose my head, but I can still keep my job. You know what I mean? I can literally, like, feel that thought process going through his head. So Herb Dean, I don't trust at all. I had House on KKF. Oh God, yeah, and got cucked harder than Omar. That was insane, dude. Yeah, I had KKF too. I was very confident that Kai Kara France was going to get that dub, and he did. Even Amir, like, here's the craziest thing about the Kai Kara fans Amir Albazi fights. The second that fight was over, Amir Albazi looked so dejected. He looked like, you just look at his, like, his hands were on his head and he was like, fuck. He literally said, fuck. Because he knew he lost. He got his ass kicked. Like, it wasn't like, it wasn't a crazy dominant performance by Kai Kara France, but it was a to be expected performance from Kai Kara France. Amir Albazi took a big step up. He lost. No shame in losing. He didn't get dominated, but he clearly lost. And they gave it to him anyways. And I just don't understand that, man. I just don't understand it, because there's a good chance Pantoja wins. If Pantoja wins, Pantoja versus Kai Kara France is a great flyweight main event, or co-main event. They would probably never main event that. Hey, Skissel. Hey, UTF. How's it going, my vaccinated brother? How's it going? The Strickland fight ref suck. The Strickland fight ref suck. Didn't take a point for the eye poke. It wasn't, dude. It wasn't an eye poke. It was an eyes poke. It was both eyes. Like, one of them was bad and one of them was kind of not that bad. But yeah, like, you can't have that fight continue and not take a point from Abus, dude. That was insane, dude. That was fucking insane. That fight was awesome though, because after about, I think it was like 2.5 minutes in, I'm thinking, oh shit, Strickland, he might actually not continue. I was thinking, like, he might actually fucking not continue. And then you heard the crowd going crazy, and Strickland talked about it post fight. He's like, I heard the crowd, and he said, like, I can't be a fucking pussy. Like, my brain was saying, oh, maybe we should just call it off. I can't fucking fight seeing double vision and shit. But he heard the crowd and he was like, fuck, I gotta fucking do it. I thought that was fucking awesome. But yeah, the second I heard the crowd, you could see the change in Strickland's demeanor. Like when he said it after, I was like, yeah, I fucking saw that in your demeanor. That's what I fucking love about fighting, man. It's the realest sport. Even though there's so much fake shit, like not being able to kick and knee a downed opponent in the head, which is fake as fuck. Not being able to 12-6 elbow, which is fake as fuck. And just the cage itself, fake as fuck. There shouldn't be a cage. It should be an octagon, 8-sided octagon, ring, like a ring. There's a lot of stupid fucking rules in MMA. But it's even still, fighting. It's the most pure, most real thing you can do, period. I literally started sparring again not that long ago, even though I'm probably going to lose my tooth, because it's so fucking real, man. Like, you can't get that feeling anywhere else. Like, when you're in the ring, in the cage, fighting someone. For me, it's just boxing, but still, like you're putting your body on the line. That is as real as it fucking gets. That's why we all love MMA. That's why MMA is the best sport. I would say MMA 1 rules is the best sport. MMA UFC rules, it's a completely different sport. Sadly, because you have guys like Aljo being able to fight like a fucking pussy and be a champion because of that. Aljo would still be a top 5 fighter if it was 1 rules, but there's no fucking way in hell he would ever be a champion. Never. He's not championship material, and that's my issue with Aljo. I actually like Aljo as a person. I don't mind him. He's like one of the few tolerable New Yorkers there is. Like, a lot of New Yorkers kind of bother me, but I really, really, really liked Raging Al when he was in the UFC. He was one of my favorite fighters. Before CTE got to him, like, Raging Al interviews used to be fucking gold, and then he got too much CTE, and then it became very depressing to watch. Luckily, he quit at not the right time, but just like a fight or two past the right time. But yeah, thoughts on Alexander Sass? Well, I have a feeling I've seen Polidori a lot, but like he doesn't. I think you might be Polidori, Cage, right? I think there's a good chance you might be Polidori, but he doesn't go on that screen name anymore. So like Haven't had it. I'm sure I've had interaction. I'm probably having an interaction with him as we speak, but I can't. I haven't had any confirmed interactions with him. So nothing's really changed between us. Cage being disloyal to musical streams. Musicals beef isn't mine. I can watch this if I want to. Oh, musical is currently. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, did musical go live because he saw I went live and he wanted to stick it to me or something? Probably. Is that why it has such low views? Once again, probably. Terrence or Crawford. The only boxers I've ever given a shit about are Deontay Wilder and Mike Tyson. Everyone else can suck a dick. I hate watching boxing, dude. So I'm not gonna. I love boxing. Like nothing's better than just punching someone in the face with a big fucking hamburger helper boxing glove. Nothing's more fun than that. But I hate watching it. Like I'm a student. I don't want to say I'm a student. I'm a weird fucking boxer because I only watch MMA pretty much. So I do a lot of stance switching. I do a lot of shit you only see in mixed martial arts. And I'm in a boxing only gym. So like I'm a unique, not very. I'm not saying I'm a good boxer at all, but I'm a hard boxer to deal with for boxers because I don't fight like a boxer. I fight like a fighter because I grew up watching UFC, you know? I get what you mean. He's busking the. Oh, I like to chat. You know. Oh, he's doing a busk. Oh, I wish him well. I love to shit on musical, like I like in like Rigo's chat or just in random comments. I think on a random Cage video, I think I did a random musical shit post as well. I don't actually hate him though. It's only because he still has that beef. Like I've said this so many times, the beef for me is just a meme. I don't actually hate musical. I just think it's crazy to hold a grudge. It's been a half a year now. It's been a half a year, and to put it in perspective, me and musical were like friends is kind of a weird term to say for someone you've never met in person. But me and musical were as close to a friends as you could possibly get for people who lived across the fucking Atlantic Ocean from each other. Like it was about, I think like 14, 15 months or so, like of us talking like very regularly, not every day, but like definitely every week. And having like he was my closest ally in Jerusalem. So maybe this is just a me thing. Because like every ex-girlfriend I've ever had, every ex-friend I've ever had, like even if my current situation with them isn't great, like I can't hate them, you know? It's like because I like I shared a lot of fucking hilarious moments with musical, and yeah, I don't want to ruin it, but like if musical was just a little bit less soy, me and musical could fucking do something amazing in Jerusalem. Use our beef to our advantage. We really could. But I don't think he would even be willing to do that. To create great memes. Because I have some great ideas. I shouldn't be saying, whatever. You guys are the cool. I really want to do a fake beef with musical and just and fake out all of Jerusalem, not all of Jerusalem, but like all of his fans and stuff. And I'm not gonna give away my ideas, but I have incredibly fucking hilarious ideas. But I would need musical's cooperation with. We're basically we wouldn't be beefing anymore, but we would escalate the public beef like tenfold just for your guys' entertainment. Like it would be great, but he's not going to do that. Do you go to the body a lot? I do. I love going to the liver, man. I fucking love going to the liver because like being punched in the face doesn't hurt. Being punched in the nose, especially when you have a giant fucking Junos like me, yeah, being punched in the nose hurts, but being punched in the head doesn't hurt at all. Like your adrenaline's flowing way too much for it to hurt. So I love going to the body, man. Like I think it, and like even though it's a sparring and shit, I don't want to give anyone CT. Like, well, I don't. I knocked a guy down like it was a couple weeks ago. It was definitely since my last stream. I don't remember exactly when. It was my second sparring session after I started sparring again. My first one, I got my fucking ass handed to me. Like it was the worst I've ever gotten my ass handed to me. And it was my first sparring session in like I don't want to say almost a year. And secondly, so A, I was rusty. B, I was sparring someone I shouldn't have been sparring. He was he was taller than me. He was longer than me. I he didn't weigh more like he was built like a skinnier Jalen Turner, I guess. But white. Like just a super tall, lanky, skinnier than me. But like I couldn't first time I ever sparred someone like with that reach, true. Like there was just so many things working against me, and he fucking destroyed me. But then a week later, I came back because it left a bad taste. Like when you get your ass kicked, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So I came back, and then I really I just got lucky, and I sparred someone that shouldn't have been sparring me. Like that's the thing with this. It's not a very big gym. It's not a high quality. Like there's good guys and really shitty guys, and like I don't know. You just end up, you just fight whoever, and then a lot of times the skill level makes it not that fun either way. Like I didn't really in part like my ego enjoyed beating the shit out of someone. It was fun. Like my ego did. But like my competitiveness and like my higher self actually fucking hated it. Like ideally I want to fight my clone. I just want to clone me, maybe make it and put my attributes at like +2 on everything, like my clone, so that I'm fighting a slightly better version of me. So I have to be on my game, but I can still win. That's when you get in the flow state. That's when you learn. That's when you get better. Is when you're facing someone just slightly above you. So like sparring against guys way above you or way below you, it's not pointless, but it's not optimal. It's not optimal. Are uppercuts? Yes, uppercuts are allowed. Uh, Wait, are they not allowed in other gyms? I've never. I've only gone to this like, local gym, so like I don't know much about other shit. Yeah, yeah, uppercuts. Yeah, dude. Dude, yeah, I knocked this guy down with a lead uppercut that was fucking nasty as fuck, and I got him because well, A, I'm just better, but B, I have a MMA, I have an MMA style of boxing, so like you don't really see lead uppercuts in boxing. I don't think like 'cause I don't watch boxing that much, but like the way I threw it, I can't remember who I saw do it, but I love watching a fighter seeing them do something crazy and then trying to mimic it. Um, that's how you get better, dude. That's how you get better. It's a monkey see, monkey do. It's like, oh shit, that worked for them. Maybe it'll work for me. Um, but like I did this fake like it's hard to describe what I even fucking did. Um, I'm how do I basically distracted him with my right hand and came like straight up with all my weight was on my right foot and all my weight was on my lead foot. Like this is not by the book. Would not recommend anyone to do things the way I do things sometimes. But because I was in I'm not Christian, Cage. No, I'm not Christian. Yeah, I know you're Christian. No, I'm not Christian. I've never been a Christian in my life. I read the Bible occasionally, but no, I'm not anything. But he thought I was coming with my right, but I came with my left so hard. And I swear to God, he was a smaller guy than me. I don't. That's another thing. I don't like fighting smaller guys than me. I like being the smaller guy, and in any sport, it's more rewarding when you're the smaller guy. And I'm just used to being the smaller guy. But like I knocked him down, and it felt horrible because I was like, maybe I shouldn't have. Like I threw it at full force, and we had headgear on and everything, but it was an uppercut, so the headgear didn't fucking do shit. um, but let's see. Do you elbow and knee in sparring? No. It's just a boxing gym. Like if I elbowed him or kneed him, I'd get kicked out. Like it's a boxing gym. I would I'm at the point now where I would probably like to start kickboxing. I would need to probably cancel this membership, go find like a kickboxing gym or something. But my dexterity is terrible. Like my ability to kick is not good. I've got really big legs for my size, so like I know I'd have heavy kicks if I learned how to properly, but I'm kind of too old and not flexible to be doing that shit anymore. Um, to fight someone, so you need to have a good guard. So they have wait. To fight someone so long, you need to have a good guard, so they have to hook around your guard, which takes away the reach advantage. Call that guy out and KO him next time. No, dude, I'm not fighting that dude. Have any of you guys gotten your ass kicked for like I don't know how long, like 20 minutes, probably? It was probably like a yeah, I think we did like because we'd just do like 2 minute rounds and then we'd take a break. 2 minute rounds, take like a break. Like that's how I like to do it anyways. That's just how we do it. It's like just 2 minute rounds and then like a long break, and then maybe go back to the bags and then another 2 minute round and go back another 2 minute round. So total, yeah, probably like 12 minutes of cage time. Um, Pun intended with cage being in here. Um, uh, yeah, I don't want to. Dude, this guy is like it's like fighting Sean O'Malley. It's like I know what guys fighting Sean O'Malley feel like. It's like this lanky ass motherfucker who has power somehow, who fucking has power, is just beating the shit out of you, and you just can't touch him. Um, Uppercuts are allowed in every. Yeah, was it a leak like a cutting up jab through the guard? It was an uppercut. It was like I mean, it definitely cut through the guard, but like it wasn't a by the book uppercut, but it was an uppercut, and it was nasty, and it was so like it was the first time like I legitimately dropped someone, and I felt both good and bad about it. More bad than good, because that's like I probably didn't need to do that. Like for me, it's the headgear issue. Where like I hit him coming up, like there's no protection there. And while I fucking hate headgear anyways, and I personally would rather spar without headgear, they don't even allow us to do that, like because they want to prevent knockouts, which makes sense. Um, but but yeah, so I don't know. I felt bad. I would have felt a lot better if I hit him with like a left hook or something and knocked him down. I would have felt a lot better. Yeah, I've never heard of it being prohibited either. It was my lead hand. Um, like, do you have a go-to combo? Uh, I real I don't have a go-to combo, but I have a go-to move where I like counter striking with my left hook. Where I like trying to just like I'll throw a jab or I'll throw a 1-2, but it won't be. Did I get vaxxed like a sheep? Fuck no, dude. Are you kidding me? Hell no. Hell no, dude. When I was like 3 or 4 years old, they vaxxed me with some stupid, like whatever stupid fucking bullshit not chickenpox, or like measles or fucking stupid fucking bullshit. Um, and it like I sort of got to change the trajectory of my life, and I remember like crying, begging my mom, like, please do not take me to, like, I have a horrible feeling about this. Please don't do this. She made me do it anyways. I had a terrible reaction. They jabbed me in my leg. Um, yeah, I remember even as a 5-year old, I was like, I don't give a shit what, like, I don't care what you do. I am never doing this again. And to my surprise, my parents actually listened, and I didn't have to ever get another vaccination. Um, but it's insane the amount of vaccinations kids these days have to get versus just when the amount I had to get when I was a kid. And the amount I had to get was way too fucking much. And then and the kids now is literally 5 times as much. And I know this because my sister was pressured into vaxing her kid and shit, but she just got like fake vax cards and stuff, which is smart. But anyway, yeah, my go-to combo. I just like to entice someone to crash into me because I have a wicked check left hook, but like my reach is short. I'm 5'11", but I only have a 5'7" reach. So like
especially in boxing. That's not good. Like that's really not fucking ideal. So I have to be tricky in what I do. So my favorite thing is to try to get someone to crash towards me, and I have a really really good left hook. I have a really good left hand in general, I would say. Um, but I love getting him to crash into me because that way I can truly get all my weight into it and pivot and then crashing. And I haven't knocked anyone down like that, but I've stumbled lots of people doing that shit. And I probably would have lots of knockdowns if we didn't wear headgear and shit. Is the air quality bad in Cleveland? Not anymore, at least visibly. But for 2 days, here's the crazy thing about the air quality, Washington. Yeah, so it was weird. Like one day the air quality was completely normal. The next day I wake up and everything's hazy outside, and I have my fan on, but I don't smell any smoke. And so I don't think anything's weird. I just thought it was like a bunch of like, haze. And I go outside and it smells like there's a fire like right next door. And I can barely even see like the apartment building across from me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And the crazy thing about that is that where I grew up in Temecula, the Temecula Valley, fire hazard every single year. Like every single year around like November-ish, the Santa Anas come down, the super super dry air from Santa Ana mountain range, and it'd be really really windy, and fires almost every single year we would have fires like close, like within a 20-30 miles of Temecula. Like there was 2 years I specifically remember where we would see fires coming down the mountain, and we had like, and our high school was used as an evacuation center, and I would literally think to myself like, we might actually have to be evacuated if this gets worse. And the air quality during those times was like 66% better than what it was that one day I showed you in my Discord. You couldn't see shit. You couldn't see fucking shit. It was the craziest thing. It looked like a fucking horror movie. And it was coming from shit way, way out in Canada. It was insane. Um, I have a feeling you have a relative named Sarah. Not that I'm aware of. Uh, Sarah? No, not that I'm aware of. Oh, to be fair, I don't know a lot of my distant relatives. I know some of them, or like I know of them. I don't keep in touch with them. But to my knowledge, no, I don't have any relative named Sarah. Do I filter your water for fluoride? I don't use tap water. Um, so I don't like I drink bottled water. I don't drink tap water. And depending on what I cook, like when I cook like just like some white rice or something, I use bottled water. I don't use tap water because that water goes into the rice. So I don't want to use tap water. But like if I'm cooking like just pasta or something where the pasta really isn't absorbing much if any of the water, then I probably just use tap water and I don't filter it. I would if I found like a good filter or something. But it needs it like Ohio fucking we need a filter way more than just fluoride. Like ever since the East Palestine shit, the water quality here has been so fucking shitty, man. Um, like for instance, so in the summer, I just take cold shower. I don't even take it remotely warm. It's just all the way cold, which is still not that cold, because the water is way warmer in the summer than it is in the winter, obviously. Um, but even just being last time I showered, I took a 15-minute cold shower right before bed just to cool myself off. And even that, not having any steam because it was all cold, even that it would still kind of fuck up my skin, make me itchy and shit. And it's all from the East Palestine shit. Like it really fucked up the water quality. Uh, so it needs to filter way more than just fluoride because the fluoride was there before and it didn't make me itchy before. And now, like I said, even when it's not hot at all, and in the wintertime, I'll take like a 5-10 minute hot shower and then end on cold. But yeah, in summer, just cold, and it's still fucking brutal. Favorite drink that's not water or coffee? I don't drink coffee. Dude, ugh. Coffee is probably my least favorite drink in the world. It's disgusting. Um, My favorite drink is probably chocolate almond milk. I fucking love chocolate milk, and I don't drink regular milk, so chocolate and almond milk taste exactly the same. So either chocolate almond milk or or maybe like sparkling water. I have like a sparkling water every day. Oh, I learned this recently about sparkling water. Um, so carbonation is actually good for you. And the reason why, or one of the reasons why you get lightheaded kind of high during meditation is because your breathing slows down. So you have more carbon dioxide in your system. And because you have more carbon dioxide in your system, more oxygen is allowed in your brain. Like the process to getting oxygen in your brain requires carbon dioxide. So so this happens like if I don't drink like a seltzer or mineral water for a while and then I drink it, I will get like a little bit. I don't want to say I'm high, but I'll get like a buzz, like a head buzz or like a head change, or like a slight head change, and it's because of the carbonation, and it's actually good for you. Um, we get fires here every year now, smoky for weeks. Really? Oh, that sucks. Well, I personally didn't mind the smoke. I went out and I went swimming in that smoke. It wasn't smart. Definitely wasn't smart. It was hard to get a full fucking breath while I was swimming, but at the same time it completely blocked out the sun. It lowered the temperature by about probably 10 degrees. So for me, anything that lowers the temperature, like I'll fucking take it. If it means lowering the air quality because like fucking smoke particles in the air, man, fuck it. Like I'm very confident in my body's ability to process contaminants and shit. Um, yeah, I'm taking whole cold showers cold too now with cold water. Yeah, you can't in the summer. I mean, I don't know what it's like where you are, Ilya, but here it's just too fucking hot to even for like 1 minute to take a hot shower. Like I have no desire to even to turn that faucet on. There's no point. Um, Overdid it once, couldn't piss for 20 minutes. Wait, what? Wait, overdid what once for 20 minutes? Wait, I'm confused. Overdid showers? Cold? Wait, you overdid a cold shower for, and you can't pee after? I'm confused. Why couldn't you pee after? You can, like, I like doing the cold plunges. You can still pee after. You can definitely still pee out. Like in the middle of winter when the water's coldest. Um, like message should be. Wait, I don't see. Is there another? No, all I'm seeing is, I'm taking cold showers every day with cold water, and then overdid it once, couldn't piss for 20 minutes. Yeah, with cold water. Yeah, but I don't see how that makes it so you can't pee. I'm confused. Um, they don't make it so you can't pee. Like I said, in the middle of winter, like when I come home from the lake, my dick will look like a wrapped up. I am in live chat. I'm in live chat, 100%. Yeah, that's the first thing I do when I stream. I'm in live chat. So I swear to God, sometimes YouTube just doesn't. It just doesn't show me all the messages, and it's not just when I'm streaming. It's when other people are streaming too. Like I'll like Rigo will read a message and it's not showing up for me. And maybe it's just a person who blocks me or something. It's possible, but I don't think it's likely. With cold water after warm water. Oh, really? I've never had that issue. It says I started cooling my balls with warm water. Oh, dude. So this is what I do. So I when I'm in the cold shower, I will just have I'll cut my balls with one of my hands, so like I'll get a little bit of water in it, and just have it just run on my balls for like 2 minutes, and my balls will shrink up, and then like I'll turn around on my back, and because it's just so hot in here because it's summer, my balls will go down. My balls will drop back down, and then turn around again, do it again, and then my balls will go back up, and then they'll go down, and they'll go back up. And even though the temperature isn't nearly what I want it to be to like truly stimulate testosterone, the fact that the ambient temperature in the bathroom is probably like 80 degrees or some shit. The fact that the ambient temperature is so high, It that contrast of just going of my balls going up and down and up and down and up and down, it really stimulates my testosterone like fucking crazy. In fact, my master, I try not to masturbate. I fucking try my best not to masturbate. But since it's been hot, like, dude, I've been jerking off a lot because I take cold showers and I do that with my balls. And then like an hour after I get out, I just get so incredibly horny. And it's not even I look at porn, like sometimes I do, but it's not even like I have to look at porn. It's like I just need to fucking coom or else I'm gonna fucking explode. So I recommend doing that for increasing testosterone, but it might make you uncontrollably jerk off, which is not a good thing. How cold is your shower water in the summer? I don't know the temperature per se, but I'm gonna guess like mid 60s, low 70s at the maximum, but I'm gonna guess mid to high 60s. So like it's cool, but it's not gonna make you shiver, you know? Like I can be in the cold shower right now. I could be in there for an hour. I'm not gonna be cold, you know? But that's also because I'm used to fucking 30 and 40 degree weather, 30 and 40 degree water in the wintertime. So my tolerance for it is way higher than the average person too. Um, I wish they could somehow keep the water temperature from the wintertime cool. Like if they had like some sort of like metal thing that like insulated it and kept it cold. But that just wouldn't be possible with the amount of people using it and shit. Um, Summer's actually been all right. This has been the coolest summer so far, anyways. Although summer hasn't been that long yet, but like June and July, this has been the coolest it's been. I think I can remember, but it's also been the most humid, um, which is definitely correlated because the more humid it is, the harder it is to warm up. So that makes sense. It's been pretty nice, but so like I haven't really had to use the AC that much, which is also pretty nice because they raised my AC bill like a crazy amount. So, or not my electric bill by a lot. 40 degrees in summer? What? So the lake, that's what the lake is like when it's cold pretty much. It's like ideal water temperature when it's like frosted over and shit. It's like 40, 42 degrees ish. Like 41 degrees for me is like the Goldilocks zone. It's fucking perfect. When it's colder than 41 degrees, my skin starts to react to the cold. Like it doesn't blister, but it'll make like lasting red marks. That might be there for a day or two, which is not a big deal, but it's kind of annoying. And when it's warmer than like 41 degrees, you don't get as many of the benefits. I'll go. Yeah, okay. I just heard the temperature. Um, it can't be 40 degrees. Soy juice skin. No, Doge, do you fucking do cold plunges? Doubtful. Doubtful. Most people don't. I highly recommend them. It's the best habit I have for sure. And cold showers and meditation. Those three things. Doing well. I shower every other day, so I take cold showers every other day. Just because of the water. And during the summer, I wish I could shower every day. It would be fucking awesome to shower every day. Dude, you gotta do cold plunges. You gotta start doing cold plunges. It's cold showering is like 10 to 15% of what you can actually be getting if you do a cold plunge. I mean, where do you live, Doja? I mean, it depends on where you live, but if you live somewhere where there's an actual winter, that's the best part of winter is going into a lake and plunging. Or if there's no bodies of water near around you, just get a trash can or some shit or some sort of big container, fill it up with water, leave it out overnight, let it cool. You could do it that way too. Because like I might do an ice bath maybe in August or so. I hate. I don't really do it here just because like my tub just isn't really fucking made for it, and I can't really get all the way in unless I go at a weird angle, and then my back's at a weird angle, and you don't want to be shivering when your back isn't straight, or at least I don't. Like whenever I'm in the lake, I always make sure my back is completely straight because if it's not, if it's just even slightly bent, The act of me just being cold and shivering and shit, it fucks up my back. But I also have back issues. So, but yeah, Ilya, hurry up! I gotta go. My phone is about to die, and it's getting really fucking hot in here. And I think I'm just gonna take a cold shower. That's usually what I'll do. I pay a flat rate for water, so I could literally just be in the cold shower for fucking 3 hours. It doesn't matter. It's not going to cost me a damn thing. So it's way more economical for me to just take cold showers and then here's a tip, guys. Here's a tip I started doing. Really, really strange, but it works. So after you get out of the shower, it's got to be cold too. Don't use towels. Stop using towels. Throw your fucking towels out. 60 for me too. It's hot as fuck today. It's probably about, I'm guessing, for me, probably mid 60s. I'm guessing. I'm not entirely sure. But this is what you guys do. So after you get out of the cold shower, don't flick yourself off. Don't dry yourself off. Just put on the clothes you're going to wear for the day and let your body dry off naturally. And what you'll find is that it's a little bit uncomfortable wearing slightly wet clothes. But the second all that water evaporates, it's weird. It just leaves you feeling with like a 10% better feeling of well-being. It's really hard to describe. But I saw this tip in like a really, really old book. It was a book of what was the name? Something Sandow. Eugene Sandow, maybe? He was like a strong man before the age of testosterone and steroids and shit. And his physique was like he looks like he's on a little bit of something, not like a lot, but he wasn't, because he was alive during a time when steroids weren't even a thing. So he was all natural. He's got a book you can download online, and one of his tips was that you should always take cold showers and never ever dry yourself off. Put your clothes on immediately after and let yourself dry off naturally, and it will increase your sense of well-being. And I swear to God, every time, I swear that last droplet of water, it evaporates off your clothes, you just feel a little bit more content about life. It's so fucking strange. And I don't know why. I have no fucking idea why it is. Flat water rate because Ohio water is poison. Well, it was a flat water rate I've always had a flat water rate. Before it was poison. So yeah, Ohio, I don't believe all Ohio water is poison. There are communities in Ohio that they get their water from like deep wells and shit that aren't poisoned. But the vast majority is hella poisoned. I 100% agree. It's one of the worst things about living here, I would say, is just the quality of the environment around me. It's not good. Like I'm living in a fucking asbestos apartment. So I'm sure it's had an effect. Yeah, I did sign another year lease. For you guys wondering, because I said I was gonna potentially leave. I was thinking about moving to maybe Iowa, maybe one of the Dakotas, maybe Michigan. I was even slightly considering like really rural Nevada, just because it's so rural and there's areas in the mountains there that aren't too hot. But it's too fucking dry. It's way too fucking dry in Nevada. I wouldn't last. Like my skin needs at least a season or two of humidity. But anyway, so I re-signed my lease because I was like every single year my lease has gone up like about $80, which is insane considering how much I'm paying. Like it's actually an insane amount, an illegal amount in a lot of states. It's been raised. In a lot of states, it's illegal to raise it more than like 5 or 10%. But they've raised my rent like 15% one time, which insane. But this time they only raised my rent like $20. So that factored into me wanting to stay another year. Also, the fact that Jim Brown died. I'm not saying the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl, but I am saying this year is the best possible. If the Browns are ever going to win the Super Bowl, it's this year. Because A, Jim Brown died. B, the last time the Browns won the championship was 60 years ago. You know what 60 years ago was? The year of the wood dragon. That was the last time it was the year of the wood dragon. This upcoming year is gonna be the year of the fucking wood dragon. And this shit works like this, dude. Like this is uh th- this is how the shit like there's a group of teams every year. There's a group of teams that can possibly win a championship, and there's a whole bunch of groups of teams that can't win a championship. The Browns are never in that group of teams, ever, ever. This year is the first year that I've been alive that the Browns are in that group of teams that can literally win the championship, like both from a roster talent standpoint and also from an astrological standpoint and from a sports or rig standpoint. From all standpoints, the Browns have a shot. They genuinely do. And I think I said this before, but if the Browns won the Super Bowl, the parties here would be fucking insane. They would be so insane. And as just watching the Great Goose Chug. What's up, Jack Puff? Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so I literally only drink once a year now. Like the last 3 years, I've drank once a year. It's been over 8 months since I last drank, and that was on stream. I remember. It was November 1st. I remember because Musical did a drunk Halloween stream, and I was going to drink along with him, and I decided not to, and I did a drunk stream the next day. So I know exactly when the last time I drank was. And here's the thing: like if the Browns win the fucking Super Bowl, I would just make an exception and just do like a week long. I don't think my body could handle it. Maybe a 3-day long drunk binge where I just party with a bunch of Clevelanders at a different bunch of Cleveland bars and shit. The things I would see, Cleveland is the most depressed. No joke, at least by these stupid statistics. I don't really know what they go by, but by multiple metrics, Cleveland is the most depressed city in the United States. And while I haven't been to every city in the United States, I can definitely say for sure Cleveland's the most depressed city I've ever been to, and definitely the most I've ever lived in. But they fucking love their Browns here, man. They love their Browns here. If the Browns won, I would have so much good content to post for videos. The craziest shit would be happening. And that honestly played into my decision to stay here another year. I was like, you know what? The Browns might actually fucking do it. I'm not paying really any more to stay here anyways for the first time ever. So fuck it. I'll stay another year. So even though I don't really want to be here, I didn't really have a better option anyways. All my other options, like it would have entailed me moving really far away and just doing that all by myself with Larry. Like I can't imagine because he didn't grow up. He didn't grow up being in cars. So like I just don't know how I'm gonna do it. I would need someone else to do that with me, I think. We live in the matrix of the rat. Last matrix was the cat. The one before was the matrix of the dragon. What's your vices since you don't drink? My vices, porn. I think that's almost everyone's vices. I think I'm better than most with porn, but it's still definitely my number one vice. I would say porn and just this device in general, just internet, and then weed. But I don't even smoke. So the older I get, the more allergic to weed I become. I literally can't smoke more than one gravity bowl of weed a day without having horrible allergy symptoms the next day. So I only smoke one bowl of actual weed a day, but then I also have the Delta 8 dabs. For some reason, that doesn't set off my allergies, so I'll do a couple bowls of that a day. But that shit is horrible for you too. It's way worse for you than actual weed. I wish I could have I wish I could just smoke regular weed all the time, but it just makes my nose congested, which is a big nose to congest too. I was in Cleveland last month. The city is so much cleaner than Seattle, less homeless. There's a hell of a lot less homeless here. But I wouldn't say it's a clean. Seattle is a dirty fucking city for sure. But Cleveland's not a clean city. Cleveland is most certainly not a clean city. Not in the slightest. Cleveland's dirty as fuck, actually. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like a lot of my time in Seattle was just spent indoors, just fucking doing heroin and shit. So I wasn't. I mean, I would explore the city, but it wasn't like as much as I would if I wasn't on hard drugs. But like when I explore shit here, like it's fucking dirty as fuck, and like as far as pollution goes, it's way worse in Cleveland than it is in Seattle. Way. Oh, so Washington has Seattle? Yeah, because there I saw some tent cities in Seattle when I lived there, but they were kind of sparse and few in between and like out of the way. Has Seattle become like Portland, where it's just fucking everywhere now? Because I've seen a few documentaries on Portland, and I have and my best friend, he used to live in Portland. He moved to Vancouver, Washington. He moved to the other side of the Columbia River because he could not take Portland anymore. So I had a couple stories from him. But is Seattle basically Portland now with how bad it's become with the homeless? Much worse in the last few years. Yeah, dude. It's the fuck. It's because of the liberal politicians like decriminalizing being homeless. Seriously. When I was homeless in California, it was a fucking bitch and a half because where I was homeless, it was illegal to be homeless. So by far, the worst part of being homeless was dealing with the cops all the fucking time. By far. However, I saw I understood it. You know what I mean? I was like, if you don't have that, if it's not illegal to be homeless, look what happens. Like, and then if you start decriminalizing things that shouldn't be decriminalized, like petty theft and shit, you're gonna start seeing some crazy ass shit like in Portland, and I guess obviously in Seattle too. That's fucking sad, man. Like, I liked see. I don't know. I had a massive love hate relationship with Seattle. I loved the temperature. I loved the climate. I loved how far north it was. I loved that the minority that the major minority was Asians. Way better, way more preferable than Mexicans in California and blacks in Cleveland, in my opinion. Because cheap Asian food. I love Asian food. And also they're just considerate. They're just way more considerate. But at the same time, it was so fucking liberal, dude. There are so many random people just coming up to me talking about liberal bullshit that I didn't care about. And back then, I had like long hair, and I think I had dyed too. So like I looked like I probably looked like a liberal hippie type person. So and I was on heroin, so they looked at me like, yeah, this guy obviously agrees with my takes, but no, I didn't agree with any of those takes. So I had a lot of fucking conversations I didn't really want to have up there. And my friends in Seattle, they were all from California. None of my actual friends were from Seattle because they didn't like my joke. They couldn't tolerate my racist jokes. Whereas people from California gets a bad rep, but the majority of California is very, very, very conservative. It's just the main cities and like parts of Northern California. But the majority of California is very conservative. I grew up in a incredibly conservative part of California. So much so I wouldn't even I would say that I wouldn't consider it California, but I know for a fact now that my super duper conservative school district, they are teaching kindergartners that gay love is a thing. Like it's an option. It should be tolerated and accepted and all that shit. I know this because my mom's a substitute teacher, so she told me this. Not that like she told me like a year ago, and I let her have it too. Because she said it in like passing. She wasn't saying it in like this is a good thing or a bad thing. Like my mom's very like politically neutral. I don't think she gives a fuck either way. But she just said, yeah, I was reading like this rainbow song. It was like this book about like a rainbow themed book for kindergartners and shit. And I was like, and I stopped her. I was like, Mom, what? In Temecula? What? she's like, yeah, things have changed since you've been in school. And I was like, okay, but like you realize if you are reading that to a kid, you're like, that's demonic. And then she got all mad. Anytime I mention anything demonic, because she knows that I know she's a fucking demon, but she won't admit it. So it's like a trigger word for her. But I wasn't even referencing her own past demonic things. I was just saying, you realize you're doing like the most you're not doing a demonic act. You're doing the most demonic act as you're making the most impression minds at the most impressionable impression. I can't even speak anymore. Minds at the most impressionable age. You are seeding into their minds that that shit's okay. And I don't know. It really pisses me off, and it saddens me that Temecula got like that. I can see them doing that in Los Angeles. I can see them doing that in San Francisco. Why the fuck is that? Like, I guess it's statewide curriculum now. Like that they fucking just teach 5-year-olds about homosexuality. I genuinely didn't even understand, like fully grasp the concept of it until I was in like 8th or ninth grade, which is how it should be. I shouldn't. How it should be is like it shouldn't even be a fucking thing. Like it shouldn't be a thing. You know, like yes, it's inevitable. There's gonna be gay people and lesbian, and I don't fucking care about that. That's not my issue. I don't give a fuck if people are gay and lesbian. I truly don't. What I care about are the fucking pride months, the pride parades, the advertisements, and the biggest thing that I hate about it is you're fucking indoctrinating our youth, and you're making them exponentially more likely to be gay. You're changing the course of their entire lives. These kids that would probably grow up to have a family, you know, and like raise a kid and keep the fucking country going, a certain percentage of them, solely because you showed them a book of 2 little boys kissing and said that should be celebrated and that's okay. You're changing the course of their life, dude, because they see these bright colors. They see these cartoon characters that are supposedly happy, and they're like, oh, and they make that association, you know, from the ages of 0 to 7. Like it's all subconscious mind. There's no real conscious mind to discern what is good and what's bad. It's fucking horrible, man. Not a single kid in Ohio can pass a test for their school year. Wait, what? Okay. I'm not from Ohio. Like, you can shit on Ohio all you want. I live in Ohio. I'm not from here. I'm not created by Ohio, but I'm created by California. So, which isn't better. Most kids in the USA can't pass a test for. That's not true, man. Like, that's just not true. There were a lot of stupid kids when I went to school, but no, like school was fucking easy. I didn't do any homework at all. I quit doing the homework in 5th grade. I remember in 5th grade, I made a pact to myself. I would never do homework again, no matter what. Didn't care if I passed or fail. I would not, or pardon me. I did homework. I just never did it at home. So like if I had a homework assignment and I didn't do it and it was due first period, then I would get to school early and I'd do it at school. Or if it was due first period, I would do it second, third, fourth, or fifth, or sixth period the day before. I would do my homework at school, but if there was no time, then I just wouldn't do it. But I made a pact that I would never do any studying. School was school, home was home, 2 separate things. And so I never studied. I never paid attention, and I had a 3.0 average despite failing like 4 or 5 classes because those classes rated their homework so high. But I rarely even got a B on a test. They were so fucking simple. So fucking simple. So it's hard for me to imagine that there's kids who can't fucking do it. I mean, there were some retards that couldn't do it, but like for the most part, like our graduation rate was, I think it was like 95%. Like it was really high because it was so simple. But with that said, I am on 2% fucking battery, so I gotta go. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I have a few ideas for videos. I keep getting these ideas, but I get too lazy. And then I have fucking I have fucking other channels that I'm kind of working on that are definitely more financially viable and just easier, just way easier. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care. I'm gonna take like a half an hour cold shower right now, and yeah. One last thing before I go, because I want to show you this because this changed my life actually. So I told you guys about snorting cayenne pepper for dealing with allergies. That's kind of an extreme thing, and most people aren't going to do that. But this is a way you can deal with clogged sinuses and shit. And I've been doing this for like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months. I've showed you guys one technique, but there's another technique, and I combine both of them now. I do this every morning, and unless I smoke more than 1 bowl of weed a day, then I like my like this is the middle of allergy season, and I can breathe perfectly, fucking perfectly. This is what you do. I showed you this trick before, but you put your hand right here, or I like to put this part of my hand right here, rub it right here, and then put your fingers like this on your C2 vertebrae. So your second vertebrae right here, like push lightly and just rub right here. And these sinuses right here will just drain. Do that. And then these sinuses you got to do individually. You put your finger right here. It might look different because you probably don't have a big as nose as I do, but you go like this and push your nose up, and you just push, and you hold it for like 15 seconds. And you'll feel it. I'm feeling it right now, even though I already did it. You feel it, and you just feel it all drain. And then you go other side, about 15 seconds, like that. Like my big fucking Jew nostril. You do that, and then you go back to the top, and then that. And it takes about like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes every single morning. Just do that. Like when you go while you're peeing, just do that while you're peeing. Swear to God, you will never have allergies again. It will completely drain your sinuses. But on top of that, this technique, it expands your sinus cavities. Like it makes it so that like more shit can be in there before it gets clogged, I guess, if that makes sense. And the more you do it, the wider it gets. You don't want to push too hard. So you want to be firm, but not like crazy. One time I did push too hard, and the entire day, this part of my skull felt like a millimeter dislocated. It didn't hurt or anything, but it was kind of strange. Yeah, Nubby definitely could use that tip. Yeah, someone share this with Nubby, please. Yeah, someone fucking tell Nubby to watch the fucking last fucking 5 minutes of the stream, please. He definitely needs this. But I swear to God, I haven't even snorted cayenne pepper in like, I think 5 months since I started doing it, because I don't need to. I genuinely don't need to. And when I wake up in the morning, like I can wake up with Larry in my face. I can wake up with like my head in a pillow full of cat fur, which in the past I would wake up and I'd be blowing my nose for literally hours on end upon waking up. And now it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So yeah, I always like to leave with some sort of something you can fucking use, because this legitimately changed the quality of my life. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know how this shit fucking works for you, especially if you have allergies or you live in a place where allergens are fucking flying about. Anyways, thank you much. I love you guys. Peace.